Felicitations, adventurers! Welcome to Incredibly Indie, where we showcase TTRPGs you've probably never heard of. My name is Taylor, I use she, her pronouns, and this is my channel. If you're new here, I'm usually the person who is running games, or if we're running a GM-less game, I'm just the person who's kind of bullying people into continuing. Tonight I'm here with Ashton, Kian, and Rue, and we're playing Drama Llamas by Yvris Burke of Buttonkin Games. I'm going to talk more about the game in a moment, but first I do have a little icebreaker question for each of the guests so you can get to know us a little bit better. Since the game we're playing is about reality television, I thought a good icebreaker question would be, what reality TV show would you most want to be on? I'll start to give everyone a chance, but Ashton, you're on deck. The show that I think I would be on is, which is this kind of cheater answer, but nailed it. The bar is like so low. for the contestants. They like get people who like arguably don't know how to bake at all. And so I think even though I'm not really a baker, I do cook and I do some baking. I think I could win nailed it, which is again not a high bar. But if I had my choice, that's what I would pick. But Ashton, over to you. Do you want to introduce yourself to everyone and let us know what show you would want to be on?
Yeah, what is going on, Power Bottoms? My name is Ashton today. It always is, but I'm she, her pronouns. Oh gosh, so I mean, 90 Day Fiance is probably my best bet here. But it would probably be like I'd probably fall for like a catfish. I've said this before. I would have there are so many cults I watch documentaries on, and I'm like, I would have joined that if I had the opportunity. So like, I mean, I just kind of go with the flow. So I feel like, yeah, I'd just go with it, and then he would scam me out of what little money I have.
So it sounds like you would be on 90 Day Fiance followed quickly by catfish.
Yeah, that's true.
Good. I like that a lot. That brings us over to Kian. Do you want to introduce yourself and let us know what show you would want to be on?
Hello, everybody. My name is Kian. My pronouns are they, them, theirs. And so I had to look up the definition of a reality show to make sure that my answer qualified. And it says that it does, but my most problematic feature about myself is that I believe in ghosts, and I would love to be on Ghost Brothers because it is delightful. If you haven't seen it, it's on Discovery Plus.
Ghost Brothers?
Yes.
I did not know that at all.
They're not brothers, but it's three black guys.
Okay.
Hold on, back up.
They're not brothers. It's three black guys, ghosts. And they're not ghosts either. They're the Ghost Brothers. The Ghost Brothers. They're hunting the ghosts. But in the intro, they literally say, "Why are all these ghosts white?" So like, it is very quality. They're super goofy. If they happen to hear this, I would love to be on the show, guys. I would be absolutely useless, but I would take advantage of that opportunity. So that is the show that I would.
That's a good one. Can I change my answer to Mountain Monsters?
Sure. What is that? What?
First thing you need to know, there are no mountains.
No mountains and no monsters.
It's like the Bigfoot hunting shows and the ghost hunting shows, but it's like a bunch of guys from like West Virginia, and they all have like unintelligible like accents, and they're all just like the classic like hillbillies, and it's so fake. It's like like one of them gets hypnotized at some point. Like they always have their guns ready to go. They're running around like the forest at night with like their guns, and like one of them is named Huckleberry.
Yes.
At one point they just show Bigfoot. He's just there.
That's
They solved the mystery.
His face was in like a window. It's like he was just there.
Very good. I guess for a certain subset of the population that is, 90 Day Fiance monsters. That's...
Okay, for me.
So it's the same answer.
Bigfoot, if you're out there.
That just leaves Rue. Do you want to introduce yourself and let us know what show you'd be on?
Hello, everyone. I'm Rue. My pronouns are she, her. God, that's a hard one to follow up. How do I? We should all aspire to be mountain monsters.
So good.
But my answer is this reality show from like the height of like the time of Survivor and like all of them coming out was The Mole. I don't know how many people watch this one except for like a few people I know, but it's a game where they got like a bunch of people together and one of them is trying to sabotage like every single game. So there's like, you know, that one person is like the mole in the group and everyone else is just trying to like win every game, and every game allots them so much money. Like the original series, I didn't remember this, but we happened to rewatch like a recent episode. They like are immediately like taken on a plane, and if you skydive, you immediately win $50,000 for the group. And so like it's like a whole lot of money very, very quickly. Like, and every challenge is like constantly losing or gaining them money. But then there's someone in the group that is absolutely sabotaging like every single thing. The original was really good. They did like a reboot very recently.
Yeah, someone in Kitten Play and Chacha said they just released a season and that they love them.
Yeah, we watched that. It wasn't quite the same because I feel like now we've got like a reality show formula, and so it had that feel of like we are on a reality show where like the original was like these are just people they picked up in the city, like just regular people. But like a lot of them were like they're doctors, like medical professionals and investigators, and like so they really would like, okay, well this is what we're doing, we have to figure out this puzzle. And like the person who was the mole was like a lawyer. Spoiler for if you want to go back for a 20-year-old reality show. And like yeah, I think they at the end like showed bits of where she would sabotage things, and it was such like minute things that she would just like change around here and there because she would have extra information. And it was really cool, and I don't know, I love the like trying to figure out each week who the mole was, because that's what they did every week. Everyone voted on who they thought the mole was. Like they would have a series of interview questions, and it would be like, how many siblings did the mole have? And it's because like that question came up that episode or something. So I would love to be on that. I don't know how long I would last on it. Whether it was a regular person or a mole, I really don't know. I'll figure it out second episode. It's you, obviously.
We saw you. We saw you setting fire to the puzzle.
No, I swear this helps.
That sounds like my personal hell because I famously like one of my family friends, they have the board game The Resistance, and like I've played it like 2 times, and that's like it's like a hidden role game where you're like it is basically, you know, the same thing, like someone's sabotaging stuff, and it stresses me out so much. Like those games I cannot handle. I can't imagine being on a show where that's like the whole thing. I would get so frustrated.
Yeah. Well, I forgot a lot of it, but my partner reminded me of like parts where they would get to not their confessional, but they would just like cut in between. And some people would be like freaking out. They're like, I don't know who to trust. And I'm like really friendly with people, because they were just like absolute regular people. Yeah. So they were just like, I don't know anymore, like what's going on, and this is so stressful, and like it was great to watch as an audience. Less great for the people that were in it, probably.
It sounds fun to watch. I cannot handle being on it.
Yeah, but that would still be the one that I would want to be on.
This is good. good. That I feel like our answers really ran the gamut for like what reality TV shows can be. So speaking of reality shows, the game that we're playing today is called Drama Llamas. It's a game where llamas compete on national television for a fabulous prize. This game is by Yvris Burke of Buttonkin Games, and it's actually currently funding on Kickstarter. I think there's like just a couple of days left. I know we're streaming this kind of at the end of the Kickstarter campaign. So if you enjoy what we're doing, the link to back it for yourself is in chat right now. And you totally should. It's a very fun game. The last thing that I'll talk about before we get into the game itself, is if you are watching right now, there are some things that you can do to affect the story this evening, or things that you can do just to help the stream. So the first thing that you can do is, if there's a moment during the stream that you think like, oh, this would be like a fun clip, but I don't want to go and like make a clip right now because, you know, I want to see what's happening, or I'm watching on mobile and mobile clipping on Twitch is terrible. You can just put !marker, just the word marker, in chat, and that'll make a point for me to come back to later and clip that moment. So that's super helpful for me. Because otherwise I have a hard time editing and making clips. The next thing that you can do tonight is we do have some tip incentives. Let me do this. Tip rewards. If you want to affect the story of the game tonight, you can do that with cold hard cash, which goes to my guests this evening, split amongst them as a thank you for being on. The first thing that you can do is for 200 bits, you can give one llama a plus or a minus to their drama score, which affects a lot of different things in the game, mostly how bonuses that they can get or penalties they receive in the challenges for the reality show. For 500 bits, you can do that for all the llamas. So you can either make everyone more dramatic, everyone a little bit more relatable, or, you know, if you want to mix and match, you can mix and match. And then for 1,000 bits, you can add a guest host or judge of your choice to the game. You do have to make them a llama. And if you can come up with a llama-based pun, that's good. And the link to do that, you can either use Twitch's currency of bits, or if you want, you can use Ko-fi. The link is in chat right now, which would be $2, $5, or $10. That is... I'm sorry, I just looked over Philippa. First of all, hello, Philippa. But she said 3-way breakout star, here we come, which is one of the things you can have. But Twitch was like, this says 3-way. Do you want this to be in your chat? Which is a pretty different context. But with that,
gatekeeper Twitch.
Yeah, Twitch is like, no. So with that, I think we can start the game. And I have a little thing to set the mood. I will say, you'll be able to tell pretty quickly, but I say you in this intro, and the you is actually not directed for the players, it's directed for the viewing audience. So, tonight is the night. You wait eagerly in front of your TV screen, waiting for the commercials to end and the finale episode of your favorite reality competition to begin. Your hooves eagerly hit the button to turn the volume up. Oh, did I forget to mention? You're a llama. Commercials on TV are for hay and llama grooming products. The people on TV are all llamas. You think nothing of it because this is just what your life is like. But then the music starts. Heavy bass thrumming as you see an aerial shot of a tropical island and a bright blue sea. You hear the voice of the show's host, Jeff Goats. Tonight, the drone shot swiftly moves into the high, menacing-looking cliffs on one side of the island. The final 3 contestants are facing a new part of Guanaco Island. Next, a POV shot running through a tropical jungle. The ground falls away unexpectedly into a slow-moving river, and as the camera operator jumps over, they look down to reveal a crocodile, jaws snapping just beneath them. We started out with 16 contestants. A series of photos shows us a series of group photos of the contestants, with each photo the group getting smaller. And all but our final 3 had to alpaca their bags. You see a shot that starts off underwater. The camera is pulled into a wave and crashed onto a beach on shore. The crooked shot from the ground shows a group of llamas huddled around a huge bonfire, shown mostly in silhouette. Tonight, we find out who walks away with the crown and $10 million. The camera is shakily picked up and follows the smoke up into the night sky filled with stars. The show title appears as Jeff Goats says it, Naked and a Llama. So, even though this is not the first episode of Naked and a Llama, I would like for each of you to describe, there's a thing in the game that's called the teaser trailer, and usually you do it if you're playing this as a campaign, if you're playing multiple sessions. But since we're just doing a one-shot, we'll say this is the finale episode. It's a good chance to reintroduce your characters. So you can each describe your teaser trailer. And this is, like I said, the place to introduce your character. Should include your name, the archetype you're playing, why you're here, and why you're going to win. And you can also describe some footage of your character taken from some point earlier in the show, like what they're doing, what they look like, etc. And whoever wants to go first can go first. Ashton, do you want to go first?
I can go first. Sorry, I just thought about something that really got me. So this is like a very dramatic, like very like quick cuts, like the big boom noise every time like it cuts, and it's just like you just see different angles of the same llama silhouetted in like in this enclosed room. and then the lights come up and it's just a regular llama, but he has like really cool facial hair, like really cool, like he's like the coolest thing you've ever seen in your life, like Robert Downey Jr. And then he's wearing like swim trunks, but they have like bananas on them, and they're very tight, like very tight, and like the show is Naked and a Llama, so no one knows where he got them, but he has them, and you just hear a voiceover, and he goes, "My name is Johnny Bananas. I am here to win, and I am here to destroy the other contestants, and I did not come here to make friends, but I'd like for it to happen. Doubtful." And you see it's just cut with like clips that are like him like peeking behind a tree just for a second and then going back and just like doing that like behind like rocks and just like random shit just in the background of a bunch of shots, just watching everyone. That's it.
Good. Good. Very good. I should also, I'll cut in now and say this. Since we're doing a one-shot, I decided, which we talked about this in the session 0, that normally in the game, if you were playing like through the whole thing, everyone would start at 0, which is humdrum, and your drama score. I'll say go ahead, if you haven't already, mark yourself at 5 drama, since this is the finale. So you're still relatable. You're not getting, a lot of pluses or minuses to rolls and things like that. But, with just a few successes or failures, you could get to breakout star status. You could get into toxic, which is not great. Or you could go all the way up to, with 13 points, the villain edit, which is good and bad. But yeah, who wants to go next?
I can go next. So I think we see a series of clips. We like come into a scene where it looks like a camera is just kind of zooming in on a llama and on like a beach setting, and they kind of look like a little out of place, like they don't quite know what they're supposed to be doing, so they're just sort of like hoofing at the ground a little bit and like looking around. There's like a few tables in the background where maybe a few llamas had been but are no longer there, and then they kind of look around and they look at the camera, and then they're like, oh hey, and then the camera like pulls back really fast and like you see foliage come over where it's like clearly the camera was not supposed to be acknowledged. And they're like oh okay, and they look kind of embarrassed and they walk away. And then you get like a few more kind of bewildering shots like that. Like there's another one where everyone kind of is in the shot, and then the camera, everyone has left, and then you just see them coming out from behind some plants, and they're like, hey, wait, where'd everybody go? And then they see the camera person again, and they're like, do you know where? And the camera just starts running away really fast. And they're like, wait. Just hear them in the background like, I don't know where they went. I was in the bathroom. Where did... And it just cuts off. You get like that kind of staticky shot as like the camera has just completely turned off.
Very good.
Yeah, and then we get kind of that like confessional scene with this is Avery the llama. And do we need to say what archetype we are as well?
You can. If you can find a way to like fit it into like I think in the
like the narrative.
Yeah, like or like something that someone would like naturally say, although yours is kind of hard. Someone to just say that about themselves. But yeah, you can either say it in or out of character. I think that's fine.
Okay, yeah. I'll say it out of character because at the moment I can't think of a way for them to say it in character. They're the normal one. So yeah, this is Avery. Their pronouns are she, they. And they look at the camera, presumably having been asked why they joined. Well, I heard about this show. They posted up a bunch of flyers all around our town, and enough of them got posted on my parents' car that I just thought, yeah, why not give this a shot? My dad said I'm either doing this or I gotta go to my grandpa and my cousin's farm out east, and I've done that like 3 summers in a row, and I really didn't want to do that again, so I thought I'd give this a shot. And someone said it was like Survivor, and you know, I've been surviving longer than I've been doing anything else in this life, so I think I'm like a master at that. Then it turns out this show is called Naked and a Llama, so not exactly like Survivor, but I still, you know, I came kicking into this world naked and a llama, so I think it's still master those things too. And that's why I think I'm gonna win. I don't know. People keep saying they don't really know how I made it this long. I think some people forgot that I was here, and it like cuts to a scene where they're just kind of in the background. Like everyone else is like set up for like a elimination challenge, and they're just kind of like eating like a sandwich in the background. And then it like cuts back. Let's see. They're in like a polo shirt. They're also like they are wearing clothes. They have at some point gotten that says like staff on the background of it.
Oh, that's so good.
They're like, I found this shirt just next to the crafts table, so I thought I'd take it, because they didn't give us any clothes when we got in here, which was kind of weird, because as we all know, llamas wear clothes. And then it just ends. Like, you just hear like the producer kind of like coughing in the background. They're like, "That's okay, you can just cut it, that's fine."
I think the last thing we see in this teaser trailer is there's like a kind of irritated looking camera operator who doesn't have a shirt on. And so you just get a shot of that. And then that just leaves one more llama. Kian, do you want to do your teaser trailer for your llama?
Absolutely. So it cuts to where the llama would be sitting, and it is completely dark, and there's a spotlight on the chair where the llama would be. And there's a beat of music, and off to the side, you see one hoof shoot out. And this llama walks across, dancing and trotting with tassels attached all across different parts of their fur. Does like a full dance ensemble, and the camera is sporadically building in clips where it'll show like very cat-like energy of Alan like going up behind somebody as he is as somebody is like really, really focused on something, and Alan just like walks over and just like trips him from behind and keeps running away really fast. Completely like on the other side of the field from Alan's own challenge. He's not he thought this is gonna help me, and that's what he went to go do. And Alan finishes his dance number long after the music is done, and he's just kind of like da 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 da, kind of singing to himself as he goes and finally sits. And this is a very hefty llama. This is quite a large boy. But he sits and he is pretty well groomed. No clothes, just the tassels kind of hanging from different places. And kind of sits real heavy and as best as llamas can, kind of does the Atlas thinking pose. And it's just kind of real focused. Well, my name is Alan. Some people would say that I'm a hot mess. I would say that's probably true. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I didn't think I was gonna be here this long, but you know what? The universe said I'm supposed to be here, so I'm still here. That means that I'm gonna win. And what am I gonna do with my $10 million? And they kind of like run their hooves across the tassels, and they're like, well, there's a lot more of me that needs to be covered. And the camera quickly cuts off, and that is the end of Alan's intro.
It's very good. The next thing we'll do is the next thing that it says to do in the rules, which is what we'll do next, is some confessionals to kind of set the scene a little bit more for each of your characters. But I'll really quickly jump in and say I did start on Twitch prediction, which if you're not familiar with predictions, you can wager your channel points, which are just things that you get from watching the stream, on who you think is going to take home the crown for this for the finale of Naked and a Llama. So you can wager your channel points, and then whoever wins in the end, I'll put that as the end of the prediction. And you can basically get more channel points if you were right, and you lose them if you were wrong. So I have it set for kind of a little bit longer. I think it's like a half an hour total that you can try to wager. But so far, I did see Sleep Child is already all in for Johnny Bananas. So
that's right. That's right. You're correct.
Feel free to do that with your channel points, and then during the stream you'll have a little badge next to your name that'll show like 1, 2, or 3 based on who you're rooting for. Okay, so we have these trailers with each of our final 3 contestants, and then it cuts to a confessional. Which is kind of, I imagine the background is like kind of like slightly out of focus, like greenery, like looks like it's like, oh, you're in the jungle. And let's see, who should we start? Let's start with Johnny Bananas. So we can hear the producer saying, congratulations, you're in the final 3. Between the other 2 contestants, who would you say is your biggest threat?
There are 2 other contestants?
I
thought there was just 1.
No, you have 2. I mean, how would this wouldn't really be a finale if there weren't other contestants.
Well, I thought there was just 1 contestant.
A total.
No, I thought there was 1 other contestant.
1 other contestant. I see. Okay, I'm understanding what you're saying. Yeah, no, there's 2 contestants. There's Alan. With the tassels.
I know Alan.
Yeah, and then
I'm very aware of Alan.
And then Avery is the other contestant.
I'm sorry.
Avery? They've been wearing
the one on the staff. Staff. They're a part of the staff.
Legally, I have to say they are not part of the staff.
Okay. I'm gonna have to. I'm going to need to just kind of recalibrate here, because I was planning for one opponent, and now two opponents is a little bit different for me. But I could still make this work. To answer your question, Alan, because I was unaware. You know what? I'm actually worried about Yvris. I am worried if they've made it this far and not been noticed by me. They have some talent. Alan does not.
I think we'll cut over then to Yvris. So I originally had a question, one question for Yvris, but I feel like the question I had has kind of been explored a little bit, so I'm gonna change it up. So we see Yvris, also in like the same like kind of confessional cam, and the question that you hear from the producers, some might say you've had a bit of an unusual path to the final three. Would you consider any of the other these other llamas to be, have you had any kind of alliances with any of the other llamas? How's that gone for you?
Oh yeah, everybody likes me. Sometimes I bring them snacks from the table that I don't think they know about. They never seem to. They're just like, wow, where'd you get these? We weren't supposed to have them. But I bring them along because, if you're having a snack and someone else isn't, that kind of sucks. So I've had good, I guess, alliances. I don't know. We call them friends back home, but it's big city. It's a different vocabulary. I understand. I'm learning. I like Johnny Bananas because honestly, that name is so cool. No one is named after fruits in my hometown, but I like bananas, and Johnny doesn't have any, oddly enough. You would think he did with the name, but he doesn't. So confusing, but I understood as time went on. I really like him. I think he forgets I'm here sometimes because I've said hello to him and he's gotten surprised when I come up behind him. I'm not trying to scare him. I'm just trying to say hello, but he's kind of jumped up a foot a few times that I've done that, and the producer keeps telling me I can't come up from behind from people anymore because it scares them.
The first few times it was good footage, but after a certain point it gets to be kind of predictable.
Yeah, I've heard that people watching think it's a bit. It's not a bit. This is just what I'm doing, but that's I guess it could be a bit. I don't know. I don't really understand showbiz stuff like that. And Alan's really cool. Also, their tassels are really cool, but they seemed really offended when I asked if I could also wear one. So I guess it's just the staff that likes sharing clothes, and that's cool. I understand private property ideas.
When Yvris says it's not a bit, I feel like there's like a little like graphic that comes up that is like, do you think it's a bit or not? Weigh in on Twitter. Hashtag not
there's
a
like
bit.
Twitter. User llamas are great 2000 says keep on joking it.
Very good. And then the next confessional we see is with Alan, which is again kind of the same setup, and the producer says, Alan, you've had a lot of memorable moments leading up to this finale, and they've gotten you this far, but I have a question for you. Would you say you have any regrets?
Well, Timothy. Can I call you Timothy?
The person just kind of shrugs.
My name is Mark.
Yeah.
You're gonna zoom in on their like name tag.
The name
Alan
tag-
has
Go ahead.
Alan has made up a different name for every interviewee every single time. Alan
name-
has no recollection
The name
of who
tag
these
is
people are.
also just on. I've decided this is the same llama who had their shirt stolen, so the name tag is just in their fur. One of the producers has really been going through it. Who just kind of shrugs.
Alan is like has their two hooves and is like flicking a tassel while they're answering this question. Well, Timothy, you know, I think my biggest regret is probably me. I think I probably shouldn't be on this show. I'm gonna be honest. I think I've gotten by with a lot of luck, and I'm a little worried that's about to run out. But you know, that's just between you and me. That's just I just need to get that off my chest. What I want you to run for the camera is that my biggest regret, probably not taking out Bananas and Avery earlier. Like, if I knew that they were going to be in the final three, I probably should have done something about it. I probably should have seen. I'm sure there were signs, but I didn't see them, and I really wish that I had. And then Alan is going to pull out his little phone and is going to tweet from the account Llamas a Great 2000. He's joking, Avery. And sends the tweet.
I think the camera kind of goes down and we can hear like other producers. Wait a minute, how did he? You're not supposed to have. There's like a little bit of a tussle off camera as people try to get this phone away from
Johnny
him.
Bananas has retweeted your tweet.
That comes on the scroll. Alan, cut the Twitter feed.
We have to get this. We're losing control of these llamas. The next thing that we see is it is midday as we see these three llamas disembarking from canoes on the beach in a brand new section of the island. So the show up until this point, you've been in like one area of this island, but for the finale, they were like, we're moving you to an unfamiliar location, and that's been like a lot of the ads and stuff coming into this. They're like, how will they do with a new unexplored section of the island? Jeff Goats is standing at the shore waiting for you. Despite his name, he isn't a goat. He is a llama. And he is wearing a brightly colored floral shirt and khaki shorts. And it's up to your imagination whether the shorts go around his belly and cover his back two legs, or whether they kind of go around his body this way and cover all four legs. And you can feel free to argue about that in the comments.
Is this part of the challenge?
What? How do
How does Goats wear his pants?
How do I put these pants on? But he says, contestants, welcome to your new beach home. And he looks around for a minute at this pristine beach and says, you'll notice I said home and not house. We thought it was unfair that you were all living in the shelters that your former teammates helped you build, so we thought for your first challenge today, you should have to start from scratch, and you better make them sturdy. I heard there was a storm rolling in tonight. And as if on cue, you hear distant thunder, and Jeff Goats looks very self-satisfied. Whoever's shelter best survives the night will get a little advantage in the crown challenge. Better get started. And he just kind of like walks away.
Does he do this with his
Yeah.
llama?
he clip clops away. And it looks weird because maybe his pants are around this part of him, or maybe they're not. So that brings us to our first challenge. So that was, as you may have guessed, the announcement. So you will know this is a mini challenge. So whenever you roll for the challenge at the end, depending on where your drama is in, you could get pluses or minuses. And I'll just say that right now so you kind of know a little bit what's going on. So in this game, for the challenges, you generally get a pretty big bonus if you have either breakout star or villain edit as your drama amount. Also, So, I one of the moves that you can do is have an alliance, which we talked about, I think, in the session 0. And then when I was rereading the rules leading up to this, I was like, oh, you're not allowed to be an alliance if the people in the alliance outnumber the people not in the alliance, which makes sense, but there's only 3 guests. So I'll say, if just for the mini challenge, it doesn't seem like any of you are a lot allied with each other, but just for the mini challenge, if you think you've been in an alliance, we can do that. But for the main challenge, we won't, because that would, I guess, not really be fair to the one other person. So yeah, so you get a +1 generally if you're in an alliance. If you are in toxic, the toxic category, which is 9 to 12 drama points, you get a negative modifier, but you also get a negative modifier if you're in humdrum, which is 0 to 3 points. And then you also get a -2 if you have been sabotaged. That's just for the mini challenge. The numbers are different, based on how important the challenge is. So for the crown challenge, it'll be a little different. But this is the point at which you all get to, basically do the challenge. So your preparation for it, and then also you making your shelters. That's the second, phase, basically, of the challenges in the game. Everyone has to use at least 2 moves during the preparation phase. And for the entire challenge, you can't use more than 5. So you can try to do all of it during the preparation. Also, there are some moves that you can't do during the judge phase or whatever. Basically what we'll do is you can all describe kind of what your llamas are doing. Let me know if there's a specific move you're wanting to do, or if something you're doing sounds like it's kind of in the realm of a move. I might say oh, are you trying to do this? But yeah, what are you all doing on this pristine beach to try to build some shelters?
Kian would not survive this game. I am already not.
Just immediately
lays down, curls up.
Take me home. I'm not doing this.
Into the ocean.
Y'all just vote for me, please.
This is a sidetrack, but I mentioned in our session 0 that when I was in college, we did a college Survivor, and I was on the crew for it. And one of the contestants did tell everyone, because he was really cold, because it was unseasonably cold. It was the last snow of the year, it was the end of March. And he was like, just send me home. And so everyone unanimously, including him, voted for himself, because if you got voted off, you got to go to the producers. It was just a college student. It was a producer, but it was just a guy. You get to go to his house and play video games and eat sandwiches or whatever. So he was vote me off, and then he was offended that unanimously everyone did. He was like, I know I said I wanted to go home, but anyway. So
perfect reality show archetype energy there.
Yeah. I know. I told everyone.
Yeah. But God, you didn't all have to want to send me home.
But yes, aside from what you would do in real life, also I'll say, so you're on a beach, but there is kind of a lot of tropical kind of islands. It's beach, and then it quickly, once you're off the shore, goes into kind of more of jungle-y kind of stuff. So if that helps you decide what your character might do. There's maybe some things to build with.
Okay, Johnny Bananas is going to make a very simple structure that will definitely get blown over by the storm. Very simple. It's just two fucking logs against each other. And maybe some leaves underneath. And then he's gonna look at it, he's gonna nod, and then he's gonna walk over and see what the other people are doing.
Good.
Johnny Bananas, perfectly executed. All right.
I've built my house made of twigs, which famously shall live through the storm.
Alan has sprinted into the jungle, full speed, not looking where he is going.
He was never seen again.
You see a a shaky camera in the background, and it's just like as the camera like tries to keep up with you.
And he is going probably farther into the jungle than he should. And he is gonna stop and like kind of do that spin that pit bulls do. I have a pit bull, but that spin that pit bulls do when they want to play, where they just like kind of jump and spin in a circle. And he's like, I think this is a good spot. And he is going to start gathering leaves and things. And the whole time he's just like, I saw one of these shows before where like it's super easy. All you have to do is like tie this off. And he's trying really, really hard to put together like an actual shelter, like tying the leaves together, arranging them hanging above. He's eating the leaves as he goes. So he's putting in a really valiant effort. But the whole time he's like, and I gotta hide from the other two. Like I think that this is gonna win me the challenge. I think I'm gonna do great. Like there's all these trees, none of them are gonna fall. Like the storm can't be that bad. And is just as like he'll pull down a leaf and just like take a big bite out of it, and it's 2 leaves. He's like, what the hell happened? Grabs it and does the same thing. Like Alan is he's here to be loved, but he doesn't have a lot of qualities. So
Good.
that is what Alan is going with, and I'm actually trying to use my special move, which is Wild Rant.
Nice.
Where out of nowhere I begin ranting and raving. No one knows what I'm talking about or why I'm talking about it, but I do not care.
I like that. So the way that the special drama moves work is similar to a regular drama move. You'll roll d6s, and if you're trying to increase your drama, so you're trying to get out of relatable and hopefully into that breakout star category. Because it's your special move, you get to roll 3d6. And you can drop the lowest of the 3, because for a drama move, you're trying to get a high number. For a karma move, you're trying to get a low number. Karma moves are the ones that reduce your drama score. So go ahead and roll 3d6. And let us know what you get.
That was not good. That's going to be 2 1s and a 4.
Oh, no! So I think that doesn't do anything. If I remember correctly, because you get you are aiming for a 7 or higher. Let me remind myself if there's a penalty for if you don't get it. Let me see. Drama, breakout stars. Okay, drama move. Okay, once you've described your character's action, the producer will ask you roll 2d6, in your case 3d6, because it was your special one. If your result total 7 or higher, you succeed and get to add 2 to your drama score. I think if you fail, I think nothing happens.
Okay.
Let me just really quick check, because it doesn't say. It just goes into, after that, it just goes into describing karma moves. So I think the effect is basically, since nothing really happens, that somehow you're managing to like say things that are right. Like you're like, it's not like, oh, what a wacky character. It's just like, oh, Alan actually is stumbling into something that's correct.
Starts going on about the nutritious value of whatever leaves he's eating.
That's very good. Yeah, so that's one of the up to 5 moves that you can do during this phase of the challenge. Is, I think, the only person who hasn't said anything. What's Yvris doing to start to make your shelter?
I'm trying to like decide between whether Yvris would just randomly be a whiz at this or not. Yeah, I at least think that is going to be my aim, and I don't know if there'll be a move that might make it like where they think they know exactly what they're doing and it blows up in their face.
Yeah, so the main thing, if you wanted, which this is kind of up to you, the main way that something can like blow up in your face is if you, so the funny thing about this game, there's not rules necessarily for like except for the end of the challenge kind of determines like how things go. But there's not really rules for like trying to do a thing related to the challenge during like the preparation phase. Cool. It's mostly the rules are what you're doing to other people or to like make yourself like look better for the audience. Right. So if you wanted something to blow up in your face, we could either say during the mini challenge, if you roll low, that would determine it, or the sabotage move. If you try to sabotage someone else, if you get a 1 or a 2, you fail and the target knows that you tried to sabotage them. I would say that would be the biggest like move you could do that would have like a visible thing. That's not exactly what you were talking about. You were talking about like whether the shelter works, but
yeah. I was thinking about that move because I was like, and I think I'll go for that, and we'll see we'll see how it goes. Yeah. So hopefully this will still kind of work under the thing. I don't think Yvris is purposely trying to sabotage. I think it like kind of happens. So they are like pulling like a bunch of I'm gonna say there's maybe like some bamboo trees or something that they've like pulled down. And they seem to have like a stack of items, and they've got like a little framework put together already. By the time like the camera gets to them, they've got like a little thing. They've got like a bunch of wet sand piles, and they're like, well, see, I'm gonna make the framework, and then if you put in these leaves and kind of like plaster them, I do that. I worked as an apprentice under my dad. He does a lot of carpentry, so we've built a lot of houses, and so I'm just using the same principles. And then they kind of like look over at Johnny Bananas thing, and they're like, oh no, that's not gonna keep through the storm. And so they like they pull it apart, and they're like, well, I'll just like add it to mine, and we can, there's like plenty of room in here for both of us.
They pull it apart. So funny. Johnny has been like wandering around looking for the others, so Johnny's not even there. Go ahead and
Johnny's
roll.
like, job done. Nothing's gonna happen to mine.
So go ahead and roll 1d6.
Okay.
And let me know.
Yeah, Avery's like, Johnny's gonna be so happy we can have like a slumber party. It'll be really cool.
So funny.
I was gonna ask all of us to like make a little flip together, but I don't know. Alan ran into the forest. Maybe they're afraid of thunderstorms. Oh boy, I rolled a straight one.
Cool. So you gain 2 drama, so you're at 7 now, I think, which is only 1 away from Breakout Star. And so
my cluelessness is really winning people over. They're like, oh my god, Avery is a riot.
We haven't even noticed them on the show up until now. Where did they come from? You do fail in...
That guy that's on staff is really freaking funny.
It's gonna be Avery fan cams.
Of you ripping apart the other shelter.
We gotta like cut over to some producers like, oh, this, just swipe it from Twitter, it doesn't matter. There are no copyrights, and it's just like slow-mo with stars and like rainbow flares. Yeah.
That's very good. You do fail at sabotaging Johnny Bananas, despite the fact that you destroyed his house.
I like try to pull apart the thing, and it just stays there like perfectly in place. And they're like, oh, I don't really know what to do. I guess I'll just... And they just walk away awkwardly.
And then Johnny, you do know that this happened. It's up to you how you interpret it. Generally, sabotage is assumed that it's you know, with ill will.
You just see like my hoof tracks all over, like around you, place, and then like leading straight to clearly my home.
How does Johnny Bananas react to this sabotage?
I leave a note that accidentally sounds very threatening.
Johnny Bananas is like in the foliage in the background, like, and catches like the tail end of this, and you just see like him pop up, and he just glares, and then he goes back down, and he's gonna formulate a genius plan. And he's just gonna kind of like just like trot out to his thing and be like, "Oh no, this is not a great. I don't know how to make something like this. Ooh, if only someone could help me. Ooh." Or just let me stay with them. Ooh.
Like cuts to Avery, who like looks at the camera and they're like, "Oh yeah, sweet. I knew that it would be cool to have a little sleepover." And, like cuts to a little note that is left on like the doorstep, I guess, of Johnny Bananas sticks. That are just like, "This is from Avery. I'm watching you."
I'm watching you is so, it's like borderline cannot interpret that positively.
Yeah.
I would say.
Avery's like made a little window that like goes directly on.
Good.
I always like to make sure that Johnny is doing all right. I like to them.
Johnny, do you have a move that you're trying to do with the ooh? I hope. Do you have a move in mind?
Not specifically. I'm just trying to. I just really want to gain Avery's trust for this.
Do you want? I did
Clearly, it's yours.
I feel like since we did mention, like, technically you're not supposed to be able to do alliances with only 3 players, but it sounds like
all 3 alliance.
Well, are you? Is it all 3 of you are joining one alliance?
Who's gonna hang out?
We're gonna Hunger Games this, where this game can't take us down.
I was gonna say it sounds like Johnny and Avery are forming at least an alliance for now. If you're all living in one shelter, or if you're both living in one shelter, that is up to you. If you do choose. If you do choose to join an alliance with each other, you each will get a +1 to the mini challenge, and then also you can choose if you'd like to re-roll a challenge die. So if you roll like a 1 and a 6 or something, you could, if you're in an alliance, you could choose to re-roll one of those.
Interesting.
But that is up to you. I'll let the 2 of you think about if you want to form an alliance. And what is Alan up to out in the woods?
Alan doesn't know. I'm gonna be completely honest. Alan is decorating his little house with the tassels. Alan has probably forgotten that this is a reality show, and this is just like a little fun experience. But he would probably, when he feels like his structure is secure, he would probably decide that, all right, this is looking good. It's a little quiet over here, and is going to start booking it full speed back to the beach. This poor camera person.
Yeah, I think we can hear the camera person like breathing heavily as they're chasing after Alan.
Alan definitely like took the camera and like placed it on the ground to like show off the little tassels, and then sprints so the camera's like haphazardly snapped off the ground as they follow. And they're going to look out at are Avery and Tommy like buddies, or are they still, where are y'all standing? Are y'all standing next to each other?
Johnny Bananas is just walking back and forth in front of Avery's, just being like, I need help.
Alan is going to see Tommy walking back and forth, Tommy Bananas walking back and forth. Feels like it's appropriate to say the whole name every single time.
Yeah.
Alan's going to see Tommy Bananas walking back and forth and hearing, and it's like, shit. They're both going to be buddies, and I'm just stuck out here in a camp. Oh, man. And is like definitely panicking. And this would cut to a scene where Tommy is sitting in an interview and is like, look, I know Avery isn't part of the staff. I know Avery's here to win, but they're really nice and they just bring me snacks.
Wait,
and...
hang on, sorry. You said but you're talking about Alan, right? You're talking about your character is saying that Avery is nice. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I was gonna say,
I was like, did I say this?
Alan has taken over Johnny Bananas.
He's wearing Johnny Bananas clothes in an attempt to seem like him. Yeah, sorry. At first I was like, okay, and then I was like, I think they're talking about Alan. So
My bad,
yeah.
Alan is talking about it and is like, I know that Avery's not part of staff. I know Avery's here to win, but they're really, really nice. And you know what? They always bring me snacks, and I have finally keyed into where those snacks are. And I don't know, similar to Avery, I don't know if Alan knows how this is going to sabotage, but Alan is going to attempt to sabotage by stealing all the snacks for himself so that nobody else has snacks.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah.
Just sabotaging the crew.
Yeah.
I think that since we've established that Avery is the one who has the snacks, I feel like this is a sabotage against Avery. So go ahead and roll a d6 and let me know what you get. My snacks.
I really hope that Avery says that as Alan is trying to run with them back into the jungle.
I also love the idea of just like just out off camera, like a normal like craft services like folding table just in the sand.
Staff are just like you like taking bags from their hands and they're like
Alan is running by, hands full, and just like bites one of the apples off of the table and keeps running. That is going to be a 4.
Okay, so on a 4, you do not succeed in sabotaging, but the target doesn't know that you have attempted it. What do you think?
I'd like to think that Alan probably trips and falls with all of and is just too embarrassed and stands up and again just like, shit, what am I supposed to do? And just like panic runs.
I love that also, since this like doesn't hurt Avery at all, I love the idea that like the food, like as you trip and fall, the food like rolls into Avery's house, so it like just goes and back
I like to
where
think
it was.
I like to think that Alan probably grabbed, for whatever reason, the prepackaged food first, so everything is safe from the sand and the dirt.
Yeah.
Nothing is like, there's one cinnamon roll that's been stepped on and that's it.
Good. Avery, you're just in your house. Someone's walking around outside. Some snacks just rolled in your front door. You've got a nice sturdy house.
Yeah. It cuts into Avery and they're like sweeping like a little side. There's like they've used wet sand and drawn out like a rug on the floor, and like there's like a little bed and like labeled, and there are 3 beds. There's like Avery, Alan, Johnny Bananas. Yeah, the snacks roll in. Avery's like, oh great, I needed these to stock up, and they're like a little like shelf that they like place them in. It's turning into like one of those Instagram like where they like organize all their snacks really like fancy. They're like pulling out drawers and they're like,
that's very good.
They pull one out. They're like, these are Johnny's favorites. As they like look to the camera and then they put them away. I think they see the cinnamon roll and they're like, ooh, we call these gritty rolls.
Oh my god.
They pull it up and they're like, that's for later.
Okay, just making a mark that I come back for gritty roll. So, are either I'm mostly prompting Ashton and Rue for this because the preparation phase goes until everyone has used 2 moves.
Right.
So either you have an idea, and also Kian, you can feel free to come in if you want to use additional moves. Like, you're not limited to just 2, but do people have moves they want to do?
As it gets like later in the day, and like the storm is like like we can see it, I'm gonna walk into Yvris' place and be like, "Oh, knock knock, ooh." Hi, I was wondering if you wanted to have a sleepover.
You see like a little point where they cut to a camera that I guess is also just like bundled in there. They're like, you see like their hoof kind of slipping, and they're like, "Oh man, I'm, like stuck inside this house with the camera." And they're like, "It's finally happening." And they turn back around, and you see them like smooth out their like fluffy hair.
I love it. We see them turn to a camera for a confessional and say, "It's finally happening," but it's also in front of Johnny Bananas.
Yeah, you see like Johnny Bananas right behind.
I love it.
They turn around. They're like, "Yeah, I wanted to invite all of you to a sleepover, but I don't know where Ellen went."
Oh, yeah, Alan. I'm so glad you mentioned. I'm worried about Alan. I think that they went out into the jungle, and I'm worried that they're in danger. And I hurt my little hoof, so I can't go get them. What are we going to do?
The camera turns to Avery, and they're just sobbing. Just 2 tracks of tears. They're just like, "Oh." I guess I don't know if this is a live action or cartoon, but if it's cartoon, it's all like their eyes are all wavy, like wiggly looking.
I also love just Johnny going like this the whole time that he's talking. Oh no, something has happened. Ashton, I presume you were trying to use a move.
Yeah, I'm doing stir the pot.
Okay, I thought that might be what you're doing. Okay, so stir the pot is you're trying to increase your drama. So you'll roll 3d6 and drop the lowest of the 3.
Hooray!
And let me know what you
fantastic. 9.
Were any of them 6s?
Yes.
Okay, so 6s do, let me remind myself. So first of all, you succeed. So you get to add +2 to your drama. You also let me see if this is optional. For every 6, I think you get to, it says you can add, so I'm going to assume this is optional. So you can add an additional point of drama for every 6 you roll. And the reason why I'm assuming it's optional is because that could get you into a territory that you don't want. So I think I'm rewarding you for getting a 6. And then also, if I remember correctly, 6s explode. So I think you get to roll again. Let me just really quickly make sure that that's right. Okay, moves. Confessionals, we did that. Or maybe, let me check. It might only be during challenges. Okay, hang on. Okay. 6s explode for challenge rolls. I don't think they explode for drama and karma rolls. So you definitely get +2 to your drama. You can get +3 if you would like to.
I mean, yeah, I think I might.
Yeah, that puts you in breakout star, right? Yeah. So, yeah, this is like a very memed moment. If if this wasn't animated to start with, there are animations of this this moment.
There's a lot of fan art being made of like, there's like fire flames behind Jonathan. I like to think it's like people are really into it, and then there are other people who are like, this is so villainous. This is the dark arc of Johnny Bananas. I'm so betrayed.
It's problematic. There's discourse on whether it's problematic. Johnny Bananas. So yes, that is a success, and you get to breakout star roll, which, if you can manage to keep breakout star, you will get a +2 to your challenge roll by the end of this. But other people can do things to try to affect your drama score, so so we've got that. What is Avery doing anything in response to like this crisis with Alan?
Yeah, I think the producers really ham it up since Avery has started crying, and normally like Avery's pretty like stoic, or or people, they keep trying to paint them as stoic when really it's just they're very blank faced a lot, and they're like, look at the dark, mysterious Avery, and some people buy it but not a lot. But they're like, oh, they're crying, finally she's doing something. And so there's like edits of like them crying, and then it like pans to like the empty Alan bed, and there's like a blue filter over everything. It's they've used like the sound effects from when the storm comes in later.
Very good.
They're like the scenes of like Alan running into the forest from earlier.
Slow motion.
Yeah. That's like all the commercial break stuff is just like Johnny Bananas coming in with that, Avery crying, then it's like Alan running, and it's like at a time where like the sun is shining. It's like this really makes sense.
They've also like done like the Frankenstein clipping where they're like saying different things, and it's like
it's like clips from like weeks ago where we're saying things and it doesn't really make sense anymore. Like where they've like had I don't know, like a commercial or something where Avery was like, okay, I guess I'll read these lines. I don't trust Alan, but it's like, I don't trust Alan.
Very good.
Trouble in Paradise.
This does
dating.
This does, I feel like, fit for a drama move. So it's not your signature drama move, I don't think, but but if you want to, this all feels very dramatic. So you can roll 2d6
just to add to that, I do think Avery is like in an actual like real-time response to Johnny is just like, well, we have to find them. They ran into the forest, because I don't think they ever saw like Alan come back out or anything like that. So they only saw them run into the forest and like the camera person chasing after them. Yeah. So Avery's like, we have to find them. And then you hear like the crack of thunder in the background. They're like, oh no! And they just like run off, like either assuming that Johnny Bananas is coming with them, or they're like, well, I guess I have to do it alone. So it's hard to tell what they're expecting. But they've like also run off, and you just see them kind of like they run off, they trip, and then they keep going into the forest.
Johnny Bananas is just like looking at the window, like fake crying, like, go, hurry, please. As soon as they're out of eye shot, Johnny's just gonna like just stand up regular, and he's gonna walk out to yes, exactly. And he's gonna walk out to the front of the house that Avery built, and he's gonna write on a little board, Johnny Bananas built this.
Oh my god. Okay, so we've got two things going on. First of all, Avery, go ahead and give me roll 2d6 for your drama roll. And then Ashton, it sounds like you're sabotaging. So in a second, I'll have you roll to sabotage Avery, but first we'll see how the drama roll goes.
Okay. Oh gosh. Okay, I got 2 and 2.
Okay. So I think then it's like people are so caught up in Johnny Bananas villainous that they're just like, and Avery's had so little like characterization because everyone just thought they were on the crew. So it's like, okay, this doesn't really seem. This is fine.
They're like, man, I guess they have to send all the crew out to go find Alan.
But that leaves Johnny Bananas. Go ahead and give me a sabotage roll. So you roll 2 or just 1d6. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just a single d6.
Oh, that's a 6.
So on a 5 to 6, you succeed, and the target doesn't know. So. How Avery could not know that this is
Avery can't read.
So Avery, unfortunately, you'll get a -2 to your mini challenge roll at the end of this because you have been sabotaged pretty severely. And I think I'll just let us, everyone has now done 2 moves, I think, so we can technically wrap up this part of the, the challenge. But really quick, I will see, especially Alan, is there anything that you're doing off by yourself in your house?
Alan is, Alan is probably talking to himself about, like, okay, all right, if this structure fails, I just gotta outrun the rain. They can't. If I survive, then I win. And Alan is like doing warm-up exercises and breathing exercises just in case.
Very good. Is there a move that you're wanting to do, or is this just like a narrative thing? Okay.
This is this narrative.
Cool. I think that's very fun, and we're also about the time that I feel like it's good time-wise to wrap up the mini challenge. So that's kind of we see poor Avery running through the jungle.
Bolting through the jungle. Fully goes right past where Alan's like little house is.
Alan kind of doing some exercises, and the villainous Johnny Bananas just in a very well-made house. Lightning flashes, big raindrops hit the camera lens, and everything goes dark. The viewers hear only the sounds of a vicious tropical rainstorm, punctuated by the sounds of llamas struggling to get to the safety of their newly built shelters. Whether they get there or not, I guess, is in question. Eventually, the rain subsides. We see a handheld shot of the camera crew approaching the shelters. So, everyone go ahead and roll, for the challenge, you roll 2d6. If you get a 6, it does explode, so you get to roll again, and you just add all of that together. Don't say what you have gotten on the roll, because before we reveal the results, we're going to do what any good reality TV show would do, and this is where we're going to take our break. When we come back, we'll find out how this all resolved, what the host thinks of these shelters. And while we're on break, you can check out the promos for all of these wonderful players. Let me refresh this page so it is right. Is this the right thing? Yes. You can check out the promos for all of these players. And also this is a good time to, get up, get a drink, get a snack, etc., etc. And we will see you all in 15 minutes. Guests, do you want to wave goodbye to chat? Bye. Felicitations, adventurers! Welcome to the second half of our one-shot of Drama Llamas. I'm here with Ashton, Kian, and Rue. And we are going to pretty much jump right back into our story so far. So we cut back in from the commercial break. And we see all these different things. We see the slow-mo shot of Alan running into the jungle. We see a villainous shot of Johnny Bananas clip-clopping over to Avery's shelter, and then the shot of him wiping Avery's name off of the door and writing, "Johnny Bananas built this." and then and then we see, I feel like, a really dramatic shot of like the snacks tumbling through the door, Avery like crying. We hear Johnny Bananas going, "Help! Someone has to help me!"
Yeah. Like pasted over shots of them.
Yeah. And then we just see like Avery's like tear-stained face. And all of this, of course, there's the sound of like lightning and thunder as the storm, and like shots of like the storm rolling in. And then the next thing we see is there's definitely like some added in like bird song as like the sun is coming up. The beach looks, very like that just rained kind of look. So like the sand is all wet and all the leaves everywhere are very glossy. But the storm has passed and we see how everyone's houses are holding up. And I think let's start with Alan. Let's start with Alan off in the woods. Kian, what did you get on your challenge roll?
I rolled a 9.
That's pretty good. So a 9 is good. Good. On a 9 to 12, that is a good result. Let me see if this. Yeah. So with that in mind, what do you think Alan's shelter looks like?
I think Alan's shelter is still standing, but there's definitely footage of him having to like kind of like push up a leaf to like dump the water out. He like wakes up in the middle of the night because it's like splattering on his face. So it was a little bit of struggle, but Alan got there. He's probably like, I don't know, probably like 70% of the tassels made it through the night. So he's feeling pretty good about that.
There's definitely like one of the parts of like Alan fixing his house. It's like that like creepy night camera footage where like Alan's eyes are like really shiny and like fixing your house. But yeah, pretty good. Alan was not sabotaged. Neither was he, the breakout star. What's the most fun to go to next? I think it's the most fun to go to Avery next, since we really don't know anything about what happened with Avery over the stormy night. So what did you get on your challenge roll?
I got a 4. I rolled a 6 and then I remembered that's right. I got a 2 -2 for sabotage.
Oh no. So a 1 to a 4 is a failure, not yet a true embarrassment. If you get 0 or lower, that's like the worst possible.
Oh man.
So pretty bad. So what was Avery up to through the storm?
I think we get like footage of this camera person, maybe the same one that was assigned to Alan, got swapped over to Avery now that they're the ones running through the forest. We've got this one bodybuilder llama that's just like, all right.
Has like a GoPro.
Yeah. And then we get like a shot of another camera person just like with them like running. It's like Avery darting around and then this camera person with a helmet GoPro. So at some point like the shots become like the same like kind of creepy nighttime shots, and Avery's just like out of breath and they're like looking back at the camera. I've been calling for Alan the whole night, but I can't find them. And like we've also seen that like Avery has run by the areas where Alan has their house like a few times. Like there's a point where like they kind of stop like in that weird like a deer that like hears something kind of shot, and then you see like Alan's home in the background. And they're like, no, it was nothing. It was just a bird. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. I think when we get like the morning shot from the camera person who has hopefully had a little bit of sleep at this point,
a fresh crew.
It's Avery like under what looks like one of like the craft tables that maybe got left out or something, and it's like it's like been broken because like a tree fell on part of it or something, so they're just like underneath.
Oh.
They still have like lashed together some of the leaves, so you can still see like Yvris knows what they're doing, but like it's a pretty. They didn't really have very much material. Like they like pop their head out, their face is all covered in sand. That's like blown in.
Are they eating the gritty roll?
Yeah, they are.
Good.
They just like have it on their hoof, and they're just like, I couldn't find Alan.
No.
They're
probably out there scared and alone.
I like to think this shot is like it shows Yvris in the foreground, and then it shows Tommy Bananas in the background, and it's focusing on Yvris, and then Yvris goes out of focus, and it just shows Tommy Bananas people in the house.
Peeking through a window.
Yeah, I feel like maybe Yvris has made it back kind of out onto the beach, so you see like the house in the way further background.
That just leaves one person, the architect of all of this. What did you get on your challenge roll, Johnny Bananas?
I promise you this is not a bit. This is gonna sound insane, and I promise you it happened. It's a 20. I exploded twice.
Oh my god.
The true architect indeed. Yeah. All the like Twitter like things are like, how could this happen?
With a 20, the thing that it says in the rules is that if you get a 17 plus, the scoring guidance is that this was sublime, life-changing, or a religious experience.
Johnny is in their element. They're like, I've sabotaged and I'm never going back.
Yeah, what do we see? The reveal of Johnny in this pristine house that he did not build.
He somehow walks out of this house. He looks so well rested. His hair is just perfect. His goatee is somehow like perfectly like shaved. And I don't know where he got a bathrobe, but he has one. It looks so warm, and he has like a cup of coffee in his hooves, and he's just standing on the porch looking out into the ocean, and he takes a sip and he goes, "Beautiful morning."
So good. I have an important question. With the goatee, is the bottom half of Johnny's face shorn to form a goatee? Like it's like completely shaved except where the goatee is? Or is
yeah.
it...
Yeah, it's gotta be that, right?
Good, okay. Just curious. As we see these reveals of people, what they went through in the evening, whether it was good or bad, we see Jeff Goats kind of walking up the beach with the camera on him and saying, "Good morning, contestants. It's time for me to take a look at how things went this night." And oh my. Is a member of the crew been injured? Oh, that's Yvris. Yvris, come on, get up from under that table. And then he, I think, is like, can we get somebody on the crew to go get Alan? Because I think it's better if the shot is here on the beach. I think it's better for the reveal. So, kind of somebody runs off to get Alan. And Jeff comes up and says, "Contestants, we've had a look around at your shelters for the evening, and I have to say, one of you just head and shoulders above the others. Alan, Yvris, I'm sorry, but we have these special cameras that were able to capture exactly how much rainwater was able to make it onto your fur to determine who's the winner. And Johnny Bananas, well done on an excellent shelter.
Oh. Thank you, chef.
He says, it's Jeff.
Hello? What?
And you know what this means? You get an advantage going into our final challenge of actually the entire series.
I forgot about the advantage. Ooh.
And Jeff...
I just like building houses.
Jeff brings over to you a pair of, like, I wrote it down, but now I forget what they're called. Water wings. They're water wings. And brings them over to you. And he's like, I have these for you, Johnny. And for everyone else, a little hint as to what the final challenge and the challenge that if you win, you will be getting $10 million. And, of course, the naked and a llama crown. The clue I have for you all is I'm just gonna say, for the next challenge, if you wish to soar to victory, you'll have to take a dive first. And then he just walks away again.
I have to know is it 2 water wings or is it 4? So it's
Good question.
Oh, I think it's 4, yeah. I think
2, it's just like your other legs are zipped into the water.
Just your shoulders. Yeah. So this is technically the announcement of what the next challenge is. You'll see what it is actually in a little bit. But I wanted to give you all a chance to to have confessionals if you have things that you want to say to the camera, or just talk to each other about what you think the challenge is, or how you think last night went.
Johnny Bananas is like with his 4 floaties, like just in front of the camera, and he's like, it's like the math going in his brain, and he's just like, he said I have to take a dive, but he gave me floaties. I don't know what he wants from me. And that's it.
Very good.
Then we get a shot of Avery when Alan finally comes out, and they're like, "Alan, you're alive!" There's like sand everywhere because they're still kind of covered in sand, and they're still sort of damp because I guess the rain really went for a while.
Yeah.
They're like, "I saved you some of the gritty roll." They're like trying to feed it.
Alan like takes a huge bite and chews the way that llamas, like their jaw kind of rotates, and the whole time is glaring at Tommy Bananas. And then it cuts to a confessional of Alan, who's sitting there, and he's like, "All right, okay. Last night didn't go as planned. But I see what the target is, and we're gonna come back from this," and is going to reach back and pull out a machete.
I feel like the camera flinches.
Alan looks, and there's like kind of a crazed eye. One of the tassels like falls to the ground. And it cuts to scenes of Alan in the night as he was fixing his tent, sharpening a stone, tying it off, unraveling the tassels and like tying the thread together and tying it to like a little wooden handle.
Oh my gosh. There's immediately trending worldwide hashtag someone stop Alan.
Avery's gonna win by default because one of us is gonna be dead and one of us is gonna get arrested.
Very
good. Like a competing hashtag is like, finally Alan, go! He's doing it.
Alan is
cuts
right.
Yeah.
Alan did nothing wrong.
Very good.
Right at the end of the confessional, Alan just looks at the camera and says, I said I was here for a good time and not a long time, and I'm no longer having a good time.
The camera zooms in on the machete blade. That just made everything else leave my mind. Did Avery do a confessional, or did she want to, Rue?
Yeah, I think Avery does have a confessional later where I think it's like a little bit later in the day, so like the trauma of the night has washed off. I think they're still like stopping wet. I think they went and like had a dip in the ocean or something. They have like a cleansing
to recover.
Yeah. And so they're like, oh, I couldn't find Alan, but that's okay. I think Johnny stayed in our fort and kept it safe for the night, so that's good. I saw that they were in there. Some snacks are eaten, so I figured that's pretty good, because that other stick house, actually the other stick house stayed all right, and it like cuts to the like stick house that's still
totally
like
fine.
it cut back to Avery, and they're like, maybe I should have gone under that instead of the broken table. That's okay. It doesn't matter. We're moving on. I think I gotta get my head in the game. Talking about diving, I don't know what that means. I don't know what Jeff Goetz is talking about. I never understand what he's saying. He talks in riddles all the time, and I don't get it. I never liked riddles. My mom would give me riddles for everything all the time, and I hated it. I don't like riddles, Mom. And then it just like cuts away.
A dark secret.
Yeah. Maybe we'll see. That's very good. Oh, go ahead.
They're just upset.
I feel like you've already introduced the gritty roll, and I feel like there is like a big, like, again on Twitter, people are definitely referring to Avery as a gritty roll instead of like, oh, my cinnamon roll or whatever. Like, Avery's my little gritty roll.
Yeah. Hashtag gritty roll. Like, it's like in people's trending, and they're like, what does that mean? Anyone not watching gritty is like, yeah.
So the next thing that we see is a drone shot, similar to the one from the beginning of the show, of a steep cliff over the ocean. Only this time there are 4 llamas at the top of the cliff. Jeff Goetz turns to you all and says, contestants, everything so far has led up to this, the crown challenge. What you're going to do is dive off this cliff into the water below and then follow the signs. The camera shows some rustic-looking signs with, like, a yellow crown painted on them and, like, arrows. Follow the signs to the shore where the crown is located. The camera zooms through the crocodile-infested river, now flowing swiftly from the storm, ending on a shiny golden crown. But there's one catch. The crown is lowered into a crate and closed, and there's a padlock locked onto it as the camera zooms quickly backwards away from it. On your way to the shore, you'll have to pick up a key to unlock the crown. The cameras show a series of oversized keys in improbable places, like dangling from a tree that bends over the river, looped around a crocodile's tooth, or tied to a rock at the bottom of the river. Whoever gets the crown on their head first is the winner and walks away with $10 million. Are we ready, contestants?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I'm ready.
Alan says absolutely nothing.
Oh, no.
Avery's just like, these damn riddles.
Because Johnny Bananas won the mini challenge, when we get to the episode, or to the crown challenge roll at the end, you'll get a +1 because you won a previous challenge. If you stay as Breakout Star, you'll get a +4 to that challenge roll at the end of this. And then also, oh, actually, sorry, you get a +2 for winning the mini challenge. You get a +4 for breakout star. Sabotage is the same. If you get sabotage, it's a -2. If you're in the toxic category, it's a -2. A -3 if you're humdrum. And if anyone is at the villain edit at the end of the crown challenge, you get a -4 to your roll. So your drama scores are going to be pretty important. Pretty important here. You don't want to be toxic. Ideally, you want to be in breakout star, which is currently where Johnny Bananas is. So we move to the preparation phase of the challenge. Basically, the way that I'm going to say preparation for the challenge works, since it is like a very active one, is anything that you're doing right before the challenge. Like, you can have like flashbacks to like, oh, I did this like right before. And also if you want to like have done a sabotage or something like that, you could do that as like a flashback. So anything like leading up to the challenge, and then there's going to get to be a part of like when you're in the final stretch of the river that will switch over to kind of presentation and judgment. So anything from preparation to diving in and swimming and like getting a key, all of that stuff is going to be during like this presentation kind of phase of the challenge. You can describe yourself as pretty much doing whatever. The main thing that is going to affect whether you win or not is what you can manage to do to your and to each other's drama scores. So, what are you all doing?
Johnny Bananas has like constructed like a sling on one of his hooves. And is like really playing it up. He's like, oh, it hurts. Oh, I hurt it so bad.
Do you also have your water wings on?
Oh yeah.
Are you doing a move with saying this, or is
Not yet?
Okay. I was gonna say. So Jeff, the last thing I was gonna say is, so Jeff says, are we ready, contestants? I didn't write this down, I just thought of it. Not just now, but I forgot to write it down. So after Jeff says, are we ready, contestants, and everyone either nods or doesn't say anything and looks pointedly down at the water, you hear the sound of a helicopter descend, like a little hook on the back of Jeff Goats, and he is lifted into the air, where he will be doing kind of a play-by-play commentary during this challenge as he floats above you. And then, yeah, the first thing we see is Johnny Bananas saying, oh, my shoulder, whatever, my hoof hurts so bad.
Is it time to sabotage?
Yeah.
This is what Alan said.
What is
I want
Alan
to puncture those fucking water wings.
For a second, I thought that was going really dark, really fast.
I'm just gonna kill everybody on the island. No
I'm
one
gonna
wins.
puncture this llama's hooves, and I was like, oh my god.
You're gonna need that sling when I'm done with you.
Go ahead and roll. It's just 1d6 for sabotage. It will be so funny if you get a 5 or a 6.
I know.
That's a 1.
No. He got that drama though.
You do get +2 to your drama. What does that bring you to if you get +2?
I'm just at a 7. I didn't
7.
move.
Oh, right. So you're at a 7. So what happens? The two of you, I think, can decide together. What happens that poor Alan doesn't successfully sabotage, and then also the other person knows, Johnny Bananas knows this has happened.
I like to picture that Alan started moving toward Tommy Bananas, and the crew was like, "Oh my god!" and just Get down, Mr. President, pins Alan to the ground.
Oh, anyone can feel free to say yes or no to this. I like the idea that the crew goes, like, is trying to, like, save Johnny Bananas, but either by accident or because of Johnny's reaction to it, push Johnny off of the cliff.
Yes. 110% yes. No preparation, no plan.
Johnny, if you're cool with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You go flying off the side of the cliff and just see, the last thing you see is just the hatred in Alan's eyes.
He has a machete.
He has a machete.
What the fuck? It just cuts to a confessional, and it's just Johnny Bananas just sitting there like, I think I made a mistake.
I'm so curious as to what Yvris doing.
Yeah. Gosh, I think we can do a flashback and use any move, or is it just specific ones? Okay.
Yeah, the flashback is not like a mechanic in the game, just for like this specific challenge, since it's so like in the moment. I thought it made sense to like have they can do it. So yeah, for whatever move you want.
Cool. So I think we're gonna get a flashback to Avery in their harried, like, looking for Alan move. I think people are like, all right, this is Alan's doing stuff, so let's get all the Alan related content out there.
That's it. That's all they have.
Yeah, I think like when they cut to Avery, they're kind of like mundanely preparing for the the activity, and they're like, it starts off with them like being like, oh well, like, okay, so I prepared this, I remember my breathing training, and they're like, okay, this is really freaking boring. we can't air this. Like Avery's just like very like properly preparing for this, and they're like, this is a finale. We need something else. So
they're whistling.
They're like, what do you think about what the other opponent, your challengers are gonna do? And they're like, well, I think they're probably really prepared too. Like Johnny Bananas has those float, and they're like, God damn it, give us something. Hashtag, it's like, yes, girl, give us something.
It's almost like the opposite of like for like RuPaul, when that one contestant like was really awful, and so they were like, we have to edit them out, but they were like one of the final 3. So it's like it's like the opposite of that, where they're like, we have to get something from Avery because somehow they're in the final 3.
They're like, we don't know why, but the audience keeps voting them in.
They're still here.
So I'm gonna flash back to an expose, where Avery is exposing someone's deep dark secret. This is just made up whatever, right?
Yeah. So the way that go ahead.
Yeah. Oh no, go ahead. Yeah.
The way that expose works is so first you would roll a d6. Oh well, actually, I think there's. Oh, where are they? There is a list of secrets.
Oh,
somewhere.
Cool.
Maybe
that would be cool, because I was just gonna
scroll around. You can also make something up, but if there's something you can't think of, oh, maybe there's not. Hang on. We've got like kind of a like pre-release copy of the game, so there might not be secrets. Sob story. Yeah, I think they're either are, and I don't know where they are, or they might not be on this reference sheet. So you can make something up. With expose, you can You can pick a deep, dark secret. It is going to be on one of the other contestants. The other contestant has, like, some degree of, like, for example, if you pitch something and they're like, I'm really not okay with that, then they can let you know. The other player also gets to decide whether it's true or not, which I think is great. So I would say, first of all, whose secret are you thinking of exposing?
Every option is perfect. I think I'll go with Alan. That was what I was originally thinking, so I think it makes sense for it to be Alan.
Do you have an idea of what you think the secret is?
Not entirely. I was wondering if it's like something that Avery like learned overhearing as they were just like in the background.
Yeah.
They were just in a confessional.
Oh, yeah. They were the one holding the boom mic.
Jack had to go to the bathroom, so I said I'd do it.
That's very good. Kian, do you have an idea of what the secret that you would have said in the confessional might be?
I mean, the range. Alan is an open book. Do you want this secret to be able to be like used against Alan? Like you can, like a skill that you know they don't have or something like that? Or do you just want this to be like nobody trusts Alan or?
If this helps, if you succeed on the expose roll, the result is that Alan would gain 2 points of drama. So it's more about what the audience would think about Alan once the secret is revealed, like narratively. Basically the options are either if you get a 1 or a 2, no one believes you and you gain 1 point of drama. On a 3 to 4, no one seems to hear you. The cameras weren't even rolling. You lose 1 point of drama. Or, like I said, on a 5 to 6, everyone believes your story and your target gains 2 points of drama. So that's kind of the vibe for it.
I think you probably overheard Alan kind of like telling a very rambling story that was about a true crime documentary that he watched. But now it sounds like Alan was the criminal. And that's definitely probably what you took away from it. It's probably why the producers were like, we can't use this. Probably not murder. We'll go with arson.
Good.
It was actually Johnny Bananas. It was a documentary.
The documentary queue up is like, it's this llama, let's call them Manny Apples.
Manny Apples.
Names have been changed as they have not been convicted.
Speaking of names have been changed, we haven't even mentioned this at all, but Johnny Bananas is the name of a real contestant on a reality show, which is how Ashton got the idea.
I do now follow him on Twitter, so Johnny Bananas, everything I do is for you.
This is dedicated to the Johnny Bananas.
The real, the true. Which names have not been changed to protect the innocent in this case. Rue, are you cool with that being the secret that Avery exposes?
I think that makes sense. So Avery totally thinks that this is about Alan, but this is like the nighttime camera, and they're like, look, everyone keeps saying that Alan's really scary, and they're running after them, and I don't know, some contestants were talking about they got this gleam in their eye, and I know they had some weird thing with arson, and normally I wouldn't say these kind of things on camera, but my mom, she didn't raise a liar, so everything's got to be out in the open. We have to accept who we are, and Alan, they're just an arsonist, and that's okay. You have to accept him for who he is, and I want the audience to know that. And I'm still running after him to save him, because what if he sets his house on fire in the middle of this storm? Then there would be a fire and a storm at the same time. It would be chaos. The staff could get hurt. I don't know what happened to the camera person that was following. Like, the camera person themselves is just like,
they're filming this. Yeah.
We traded off.
Go ahead and roll a d6, and we'll see how this goes for you.
God, I hope this succeeds.
Oh, well, my dice flew away from me, so roll a different one. That dice wanted nothing to do with this. I got a 5. Perfect.
Everyone believes your story, and Alan's drama goes up 2 points, which I think puts you in toxic, right?
Alan is officially toxic.
How? How is Alan more toxic than Johnny Bananas?
Alan is lunging at people with a machete. So
Alan is a possible murderer.
There was someone in the building.
The hashtag is just Alan on fire.
I also think definitely, so like based on what Avery said, that's not like the most riveting TV, is Avery being like, yeah, I guess this is what happened. So it's definitely like punctuated with like headlines and like kind of slightly edited photos of Alan with like fire behind him. And lots of like Vine booms to make it a little bit more exciting. So that's like the interstitial. You see Johnny Bananas have been pushed off a cliff, and then there's a quick flashback to this confessional from Avery being like I think he does arson.
He's always at the campfires, and there's just like a bunch of pan shots of like every time Alan is sitting near a campfire.
Just the flames reflecting
Yeah,
his
you
eyes.
see it like reflected in their llama eyes.
It shows the entire group, and it just like zooms in and circles in.
Very good. What is Johnny Bananas doing?
Post being pushed off a cliff.
Mid-air.
Yeah, Johnny Bananas is has a moment where he's rethinking everything he's ever done in his life. But then he quickly is like, no, it's not time for that. I'll do that after I get the crown. And so he's gonna like flop around like in the air, and he's gonna try to like angle himself to go as far as he can towards, I think he wants the key on the tree.
Mm-hmm.
Like his dream is to just like fly in and grab it with his teeth and then land in the water. Like that's his ultimate goal.
There's not a role for that, so it's really up to you how you think it goes. The roles are mostly regarding drama, not regarding how well you grab a key with your teeth.
I mean, I think he does it, but the impact is so sudden that he swallows it.
Jeff Goats, who is like kind of flying above you, is kind of calling out like as things are happening. He's like, and yeah, it looks like Alan with the unexpected early sabotage, and Johnny Bananas recovering incredibly. It almost looks like those water wings are kind of guiding his travel as he's flying straight towards the first key. Now, if he can get this, that's going to give him quite an advantage over the other two. And he's got it looks like Johnny Bananas has swallowed one of the 3 keys possible to to unlock the crown. Maybe he's got a plan going on with this. We'll just have to see how this unfolds.
He's acting super cool, but inside he's just like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
It's also because I think I mentioned them being like oversized keys, so it's like you just somehow managed to accidentally swallow this like big key. Yeah, what happens next, everyone?
What a move to follow up.
That, just let it be known, you can describe pretty much whatever you want.
Doesn't matter. None of us will be as cool as Tommy Banana. It's like,
Yeah.
Does anyone have a move that they want to do that they are thinking about, like, how to get to it? I guess is a question. Or does anyone just have a move that they know they want to do?
I would like to stretch for an alliance with one of the crew members.
Technically against the rules, but I do like the idea. So
I already have one of those. Me and Avery have an alliance.
Oh, I forgot about that. I don't know why I did that. My role.
No one ever officially said yes, so I didn't count it. I like it. So just because we are showcasing this game, I do feel the need to clarify this is not rules as written, but I like it. So
Well, and my thought for the stretch was that technically I would be the only one in the alliance. Because the crew member doesn't really exist. So there's 2 outside of the alliance. So
that's true. You know what? Flawless
Malicious
logic.
compliance.
The science checks out.
Do you want to describe? I'll just remind you really quickly. The last thing you did was try to stab someone. So how do you think Alan is pivoting to an alliance with someone in the crew?
So we're using the term alliance very loosely.
Okay.
Alan is going to threaten a crew member
At knife point.
at knife point. Like whoever is nearest Alan is just gonna like on the ground just like turn their head to them and just be like, if you don't tell me the quickest way to get to that box, I cannot be responsible for what happens to you next. And as best as Alan can is going to like shift the machete so it catches the light and kind of like glints.
Okay, here's the devil's bargain I'll offer you. You can potentially have an allyship, but this has to be a drama roll. Like, this has to be, your drama's probably going up as a result.
I think that's very valid.
So go ahead and roll 2d6.
Okay.
And if it is, I have to scroll around. For the drama roll, you want to get a 7 or higher. Well, you kind of don't because you're getting more toxic, but
I like this art. I think it's good.
Yeah, honestly, even if my drama goes down, I don't think there's any coming back from this.
Yeah, so go ahead and roll 2d6 and let me know what you get. And also let me know if you get 6s on any of them.
Okay. That's an 8. No 6s, but that is an 8.
So you do get 2 more drama. So I think you're at 11, right?
I am.
So you're very toxic. But I will say that you do get a +1 to this challenge as an alliance has been formed. And you turn to this crew member who kind of is just
Is
like
it the shirtless one?
yeah,
He's been through so much.
Yeah, Timothy, not Timothy. He just kind of goes, I'm really not supposed to tell you this, but if you go over on that side, it's kind of more of a slide, and like he gestures over towards like this other part of the cliff where it's kind of like if you could stand on something, you could basically surfboard down, and there's like a little like thing at the end that'll like go up, and he's like, that's probably the fastest way. And, like, I don't even think I'll get in that much trouble for this, because you are threatening with a knife, and it will be good footage, whether you succeed or not, so...
Alan is going to just lean in very closely and go, "Thank you, son."
There's the dark secret!
Thank you, son. You said it! You said it not even the way that people colloquially, like call people son. You said it really like he was your son for sure.
I think Alan doesn't know.
Alan so does Wild Oats. Anyone could be his son. Are you taking this ramp?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
What does it look like?
I'm gonna try and like hack like a big piece of bark off of a tree. And like I'm hacking very aggressively, so it's probably not like a really good proportion, but I'm just gonna like keep running and do one of those, like, I can't skateboard, so I don't actually know what it's called, but wherever you like drag the skateboard behind you and then you hit the slope and then you kind of, I think these are all the wrong words, but you just like put your foot on it and slide down into it.
Yeah, like drop in.
And I am on all fours, machete in my mouth. Down this ramp.
Jeff from above says, and in kind of an unorthodox move, Alan has opted to threaten one of the crew, not technically against the rules of the game, so you know, whatever it takes to survive to the end. And it looks like Alan is dropping off the side of the cliff onto this, what is that at the bottom? It looks like he's riding a piece of bark, machete in his mouth, towards what looks like a ramp at the bottom of this cliff. What an incredible and unusual natural rock formation. How do you think this goes for Alan?
Not well. I think that Alan has probably, because I mentioned at the top of the game, Alan's like a pretty hefty llama. So, you know, there's a lot of gravity working against him.
You're going incredibly fast.
He's also, like, he's very coordinated for his dance numbers. I don't think he's coordinated for much else. So, like, he's got enough body awareness to stay on this piece of wood. But as soon as I like to think that Goat's camera like pans over, and as soon as it hits, like, he just starts to clear the ramp, you can just see the fear of God in his eyes. This moment of clarity of like, I don't know what I'm doing right now. I feel like I should leave it up to the dice somehow to determine if Alan lands safely.
That's up to you. Yeah, if you wanna roll a die to determine for yourself how you think it goes, I'll let you call on what you think the odds are, what you'll count as a success.
I'm actually gonna roll a d20, and I'll do 1 to 10 as a fail, and then 11 to 20 as a success.
There we go.
That's a 2.
So how does this saga end?
Alan lands very cleanly on the back of an alligator.
Okay, can I pitch something?
Absolutely.
He lands cleanly on an alligator, but I like the idea that it's like the Captain Hook thing where like the alligator's mouth is open and one he's got 2 hooves on either side of the mouth.
And seeing the gaping maw of this alligator, Alan screams and drops the machete. Look, Alan had a good motivation up until he threatened that cameraman. And then he was like, this has gone completely unhinged. And now he's very afraid. New
cryptid just dropped. Alligator with a machete.
The alligator grabs the machete with
it's just
machete gator.
Macheter.
Very good. That just leaves Yvris still on the cliff.
Just hanging out there. I think I want to use one of these special drama moves. So I'm like, I think I'm gonna build up this story.
Yeah.
My special drama move is you cross the line. You heard that someone's been saying something they shouldn't about you or your loved ones and get uncharacteristically hot under the collar. I think they're like, I can abide by a lot. Like, it's just like a face on camera and they're like still prepping their stuff. But like camera crew has come out because they're like, oh, finally Avery is like really pissed about something. And they're like, I can abide by a lot of things, but I can't stand my family getting threatened. Alan, how dare you threaten my cousin? And it like cuts to the cameraman with no shirt on, who's just like, looks like they're dying inside. They're just like, they don't like being exposed as Avery's family member.
This poor llama.
Avery's like, he held a machete. My cousin, I don't know why my cousin doesn't have a shirt on. I let it go for a really long time, but God, what is going on with this show? They can't get him a shirt. Look at him. It like cuts back to like this blank face llama, just like cuts back to Avery with like the llama's name tag on her shirt.
Since this is your cousin, what do you think his name is? We know it's not Timothy.
Yeah. Oh my God. What should his name be?
It's also Avery.
Very much was thinking like it's Baver. And I was like, that's ridiculous. Like
adding a B to something is just it's just always a good way to go.
That's why they were like, God, I thought I got rid of this family.
Their name used to be Avery, but they changed it to distance themselves from you and changed it to Bavery.
It's a family name.
Yeah. Every firstborn child is named Avery.
Very good. Roll 3d6.
Yeah, let me go find my wayward one.
Oh, yeah. The one that got away.
Yeah, Avery is like fuming and they're like, I can't believe this. They're like handing random snacks to Avery. They're like, look at him. Look at how thin he's gotten. But it's just because like he's jacked. He's also the one that's been running after people.
Look at how thin and jacked he is.
What's he gonna do with all those muscles? Nothing. This is supposed to be a thinking job. They like grabs his head and he's like, there's no muscles in his head. I rolled, what did I roll? A 7.
That is just what you need. Well, did you get a 6 on any of them?
I did not. I got a 2, 2, and a 3.
Okay. So you would actually, I don't think you got a 7 because you drop the lowest. You roll 3d6 and you drop the
Oh,
lowest. So,
I dropped the lowest.
yeah.
Okay.
So
And I got a 5.
it does not succeed. I feel like this whole thing, at first they're like, Avery's mad, that's great, and then I do feel like it just ends up on the cutting room floor, because it's like, what is this? We can't have it be something about the crew. Like, we've already had this person threatened. We can't make a plot point about someone who's not really supposed to be heard from or seen. Very good. Is Avery going to join everyone else in the water?
Yeah, I think after that we just see a lot of shots of Avery like managing to get through pretty well, so it's like pretty boring footage, because it's just like they're just hitting things like pretty practically, like not in any dramatic way, but they're just like every time they come to a challenge and the producer's like, all right, let's see what Avery's gonna do, and it's like Avery's like, well, there's like a side hiking trail over here, so I'm just gonna kind of circumvent I'm gonna circumvent this. It kind of dips into the water, so it still counts for going through.
There's a lot of puddles from the storm, so I think this counts.
At a later point for like the key, they're like, well, I drafted out these like mathematical equations, and they're like, come on, Avery.
You have like a little fishing pole that you make and just fish it out. How many moves has everyone done?
I think 0. Johnny Bananas has still done 0. Johnny Bananas got launched off a cliff and swallowed a key and has just been floating just like down the stream.
Do you have any moves that you want to do as Johnny Bananas? This farce can only come to an end once everyone has used 2 moves.
Yeah, I don't know what move this would be.
Good start.
I would like to, I want to like climb out of the water, and I'm just gonna start trying to throw up the key. Is that a move specifically?
No.
Is that a specific move?
I don't remember the details, but I feel like that's stirring the pot.
Maybe it could be drama if you're like throwing up onto Alan or something.
That's true. I guess
I'm like over a little like cliff, and I'm like trying to throw up over it, and you just see Alan below me.
Still on a crocodile, trying to survive. I guess it makes sense that you haven't done moves, because a lot of the moves affect your drama, and right now you still are somehow in Breakout Star. So,
Just solid player.
Yeah. I guess I would count this as sabotage. I think throwing up on someone while they're trying to not be eaten. I think that counts as sabotage. So go ahead and roll a single d6.
Okay, great. Dude, that's a 6. This dice is incredible.
So,
I swear to God,
Alan.
So sorry.
Death from above. Just.
Alan is like trying to like get off the llama, and so like leans to one side and misses the first bit, and then it's like, wait, what? And it just hits because he freezes, and it just hits him.
Alan, you will get a -2 to the challenge roll.
I'm at a -3 for the challenge roll.
Oh no!
Oh, because you're toxic. I was like, wait a minute.
Yep. I got that +1 for the alliance, but it's not gonna cut it.
Oh no. Okay, so that's I think two moves from Alan. That's 1 from Ashton, and Rue, you did.
I think I did 2, because Expose was also a part of this, right?
Yep,
so
that's right.
I'm done and done.
People can use more moves. So, for example, if someone wanted to try to get Johnny Bananas out of Breakout Star, You can.
I want to try and expose the secret
Yeah.
of Johnny Bananas.
Good.
Let's go.
Do you think you know what the secret is?
I mean, I feel like I'm trying to prove that I am innocent. That Johnny Bananas is the actual arsonist in this documentary.
If I was a better editor, I would edit into this part of the VOD Ashton earlier saying Johnny Bananas was the one who actually did it. Ashton, are you cool with that being?
Oh, absolutely.
Cool.
It's perfect.
Kian, go ahead and roll for expose as a single d6. If this doesn't succeed, I will not know what to do with myself. 5!
It's a 5.
Johnny, you go down to simply relatable.
Wait, don't they gain 2 trauma?
For expose,
Oh,
plus
you're
2.
You're right.
Toxic.
Sorry.
Which makes more sense.
It does make more sense.
Relatable.
Yeah, we've all done oxen.
That relatable moment. Yeah, you're right. Sorry, I was reading 2 lines at the same time. Yeah, you gain 2 drama, so you're a 10. You're toxic.
Great.
How is Alan revealing this? Like, what's the mode?
I think that Alan is I'm trying to think of a way that Alan, God, I don't know, because he's standing on the mouth of a crocodile.
This could be a confessional, or this could even be, like, I think technically in the rules it even says that it could be something that's not directly Alan doing it. So it could be like something is like revealed, or like something like that could be happening.
Alan has a fan army who are determined
and they are
to
toxic.
prove his innocence. They're all very toxic. This is not a healthy relationship.
Justice for Alan.
Goats does not approve of the way this fan army acts. But as soon as it gets revealed that Alan is the arsonist, they come to his aid and start overtaking social media about how Alan could never. And then they have to justify his machete attack. But
that's a separate thing. Johnny Bananas is over. Party starts trending.
Oh no!
In the span of like 10 minutes of real life time, it goes from Alan is on fire to Johnny Bananas is an arsonist. Cool. Okay, so that happens. Do other people have other moves that they want to do?
Yes.
It makes you do have one more you have to do. So this makes sense.
Yes. I would like to. I want to look down at Alan, who I've just thrown up on, and I'm just gonna be like, "I'm so sorry. I never meant for it to get like this. I never wanted any of this. Please, it's just a game. I just wanted to win." And I'm gonna use "It's only a game show."
So you get to roll 3d6. You get to drop the highest.
Okay. What the fuck? Okay. 10. Got 2 fucking 6s.
Yeah, so fails. Because for the karma move, you're trying to get under 7. Oh my gosh, I did this right. I was like, I'm doing this right. I was doing it right. So it says subtract 2 drama success. You did not succeed. So, and you didn't get any 1s. So
No, I did not.
This is a very transparent.
I spit up the key and I just kind of like grab it and scoot it towards me, and I'm still throwing up on Alan as I'm saying this. Jeff from above is like, I'm not, I can't say I know exactly what's happening right now. Looks like some sort of vomit-based sabotage
And is anybody able to make out exactly what Johnny Bananas is saying right now? And all the camera people are just like, no, we don't know. We don't even know what he's trying to say. He's just throwing up. At this point, we can move to the final stretch, but I'll give everyone one last chance if they have moves that they really want to do during this prep phase.
Are there any more moves in the presentation phase, or is it just for here? I forget.
So in the presentation phase, you can, I think the only move you can do during that phase is sob story.
Okay, that makes sense.
Let me really quick make sure, because you can't do the drama and karma moves. You can't sabotage. And then since you can't do the drama and karma move, I don't think you can do the deep dark secret. You can't do the alliance. I think once per episode during the preparation phase, that's the expose. You did that. Yeah, I think sob story is the only one you can do during the judgment phase. Which is once per season, you may move your drama score to a relatable 7 by revealing a tragic bit of backstory, which you may or may not be making up entirely. So other than that, that's the only move that you can do in both phases.
Can I make one more move?
Yeah.
I will, as Johnny Bananas is vomiting on me and telling his story, it is going to cut to a scene where, because did I say Johnny? It's Tommy.
It's Johnny.
It's Johnny.
It's Johnny. Thank you. I apologize. Johnny Bananas and Alan have been in this situation before. They have a history. Not quite vomit involved, but
Okay. I was gonna say, that's wild.
no. Just at each other's throats before. And it is going to flash back to a confessional where Alan is sitting and is just like, I mean, I get it. We're all here to win. We're all trying to just, pull out whatever shots we can to try to make this work. Do I think that Johnny is going about this in the best way? No, but I can't really blame him for it. And I'm going to use my I've been there special karma move.
Good. Yeah,
To see
if you can get out of toxic. Go ahead and roll 3d6 and you'll drop the lowest. Or, sorry, you'll drop the highest for a karma move.
that is a 6.
That succeeds. Did you get any ones?
No, and I really wanted just one run to get myself into breakout star.
So you're at 9. So you're still toxic, but you're pretty close. You're pretty close to relatable or breakout star. And yeah, again, your fan army is just like spreading the word. There's like definitely like on TikTok someone is filming the live episode and immediately posts that to TikTok and is like relatable king.
Alan's like, no.
We love Alan. Very good. Other people, any other moves you want to do while it's still before the final stretch?
Yes.
Yeah, I also
Yeah?
I'll do it either before or after.
No, you go first.
Okay. Yeah, I think Avery is like pans over and Avery has just kind of been watching this in horror.
Because you were also just right next to Johnny Bananas. The camera just pans over.
Yeah. Avery's just like actually doing the challenge and like you can see them like almost getting the next key that's like in one of the alligator's mouths. She's like, I almost got it. That time for sure. I thought I had it.
Is this the alligator that Alan is standing on?
Oh, it could be. I didn't know if that was the one with the key or not.
It is very funny if it is. If Alan is like trying to survive but also get the key.
That makes sense, especially if like Avery is really freaked out, but also still like, but I do gotta get them.
Good.
Yeah, and I think like they've turned to the camera person, and they're just like, I think I have to be the one to get this key, because look, this competition, it's tearing them apart. Look at them, they've lost it. This isn't who Johnny Bananas and Alan are. They've lost their way. I've got to win for them so that they can keep their llama nitty.
The true hero.
I was like, how do I was about to say humanity, and I was like, no, we got a llama.
Oh, the lamanity. What move are you doing?
I think I'm doing drama move, although sabotage could work, I guess, if I'm like trying to speed them up. So.
Oh, that's true. If you are trying to get the key that Alan has, that could be sabotage. It's up to you though, whether you want to try to increase your own drama or, I mean, sabotage also can increase your drama if you fail.
if I fail.
Up to
you. I think sabotage is kind of funnier. If I'm like trying to make this, I'm just like, I gotta stop them. It's for their own good.
Oh, you know what I just remembered? Sorry, you actually can't sabotage Alan because he's already sabotaged.
Oh,
I forgot. So you can't, like, sabotages don't stack. So you can't sabotage Alan. You could try to sabotage Johnny Bananas, or you could try to just do a drama move.
Yeah, I'll stick with drama. I think that makes sense.
So
that
this
way
will
it's still kind of towards both of them.
Mm-hmm. This will just be 2d6 because I don't think you're doing your special drama move. And just
I'm over the family thing. It's been resolved.
It's been resolved.
Hey. It's cool now. I understand that it's a competition, but also I have to stop you. Okay, I got a 7.
Perfect. Yeah, so a 7, you get to add +2 to your drama. What does that bring you to?
I was a relatable 7, and now I'm
toxic 9.
I really wanted to hit that breakout star, but I shot right above it. I was like, there's no move I can make that'll get me there.
It's also so funny that what you said was you were like, I have to preserve their friendship.
Everyone's like, boo, Avery, you're no fun anymore.
Yeah, I like that. I was gonna say, I think it would be funny if, because you're also at the same time trying to get this key, if you do something where, even though it's not a sabotage, and this is actually probably good for Alan, but you do something where it, like, pulls the you don't get the key, but it, like, pulls the crocodile or something, and so Alan falls into the water, which is really overall good for him, but it could look like you were, like, doing something shady, maybe.
Yeah. Everyone's like, oh, Avery's trying to feed Alan to the crocodile.
There's like slow-mo footage of like the like Jeff Goetz is like, was this intentional or not? Let's take a look at the play of the instant
play. There's like little football like circles, and they're like, well, if you look at the angle of the fishing pole, you would think it could be going for the key, but why is it going so wide?
Why is it wrapping around the mouth of the alligator and pulling it to the side? Ashton, I think you said you had something else you wanted to do while we were
so I have picked up the key, and I'm just standing over them on this like little cliff, and I look down at them, and I say, you don't understand. And I'm using like my because I was vomiting and I'm crying, so I'm using the tears to my advantage.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, you don't understand. They took my wife. I had to do it. They took my wife. They wouldn't give her back unless I set the building on fire.
Oh.
I did it for her.
I fully was like, this is either about the arson or we're learning a lot about this show.
That's what I forgot. I forgot all the arson stuff was like the show to your wife.
I didn't even want to be on a reality TV show.
I didn't even want $10 million. I just want my wife.
I need the money to pay them back. I want my wife back.
I'm assuming this is Sob's story. Which automatically succeeds unless you have the villain edit, which you don't. So that brings your drama score to a relatable 7. As people everywhere are like, oh my god, his wife. Johnny Bananas is a wife guy.
Oh my god. I just tweeted out, hashtag where's Johnny Bananas' wife?
And then I'm gonna use one more move.
Uh-huh.
And that's as Alan comes up from the water.
Oh no.
Johnny Bananas looks down at him and says, Avery just tried to kill you. I saw it. You better run.
Is this
I'm
stirring
stir the pot.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll 3d6 and drop the lowest one.
8.
So you go back up to 9. You're toxic again.
Everyone's like, never mind, the white guy would never do that.
Millions of tweets are instantly deleted. Something untrends somehow. Does anyone else have moves they can or want to do?
So I was also going to do a sob story.
You can.
Yeah, roll him out.
It's so perfect for the way. Are you okay, Ash?
Oh yeah, sorry, my light just fell.
Drama is too intense. This is actually perfect for the way this all played out because as John, I keep calling myself Johnny, as Alan goes falling into the water, you hear slow-mo, just, Avery, no! Alan disappears below the water, comes back up, just in time to hear Johnny Bananas say, Avery just tried to kill you. And then Alan goes back under the water because Alan cannot swim.
Oh
No!
This is the tragic backstory. As somebody who cannot swim, this is how people find out that you can't swim. Usually already in the water. Yeah, Alan's head pops up just enough for Johnny Bananas to say, Avery just tried to kill you, and then Alan is gone again.
Oh
Below the water.
Very good.
I don't know if Alan's gonna be able to roll for the challenge.
Oh no.
You know what? I don't know if you're gonna be able to roll for the challenge. So that's up to you. But you are a relatable 7. People are like, oh, we can relate to that. We can relate to not being able to swim.
Ian is the one tweeting, I can relate to not being able to swim.
Does anyone else have things they want to do in this portion. You also can only do up to 5. I have not been counting how many people.
I'm on 4. But Johnny Bananas is just gonna lock eyes with Avery and just like trying to see if,
like, oh no.
And he's going to he's gonna pick up the key and start sprinting away, but he's gonna throw behind him 2 floaties and then just keep running.
Like towards Alan, or
just like towards Avery, or like both of them. Aren't they in the same area? I'm just gonna
I think we're
chuck
right
those 2 floaties behind me, and I'm like, you can take care of it, right? And I'm gonna keep going.
Is this a karma move?
Yeah, I think so.
That sounds like a karma move. I will say, if you succeed on a karma move, you do just go back down to 7. So you just kind of back between the 2. Go ahead and roll 2d6, and let me know what you get.
the audience watching this is very volatile about what they believe.
I have no idea what is up with my dice, but that's a 12.
Okay, so
I have no fucking idea.
So nothing changes. You're still at a 9.
That tracks.
I think people are like the discourse for it is like, why didn't Johnny Bananas throw the water wings to Alan? Like, why did he just kind of throw them wherever when Alan was like drowning? So, toxic masculinity. he didn't bother to help anyone specifically. Any other moves that people want to do?
I think Avery is gonna do just one more. We're gonna go with when you cross the line again.
Good.
But I think this is now because of the accusation that Avery
makes sense.
Avery's just like, as like Johnny Banana is like whizzing past. Avery's just like, how dare you question my integrity, my care for everyone. I built you a fort. Alan lived there too.
Good.
Alan, I believe in you. You can get out of here.
Alan's just sinking lower and lower. I believe in you. Thoughts and prayers, Alan.
Avery's like, I'm still kind of mad, actually, that you tried to stab my cousin.
Press F for respect.
Can we get some F's in the chat for Alan? Just for the whole situation. Cool. So go ahead and roll 3d6, because this is your special karma move, and you can drop the highest, so you'll just count the 2 lowest. This is so...
Okay, incredible. I rolled 2 6s and a 3.
So
I rolled a 9. I knocked this out of the water. It's been more toxic than before.
Again, people are like, why is no one saving Alan?
Everyone's like, well, now I'll remember Avery. They're the ones let Alan drown.
Some confused people are like, there's a member of the crew right by Alan. They're not doing anything.
Oh wait, I rolled. We get 2 drama, but then I get an additional 1 for every 6, right?
Well, you were doing your karma move, right? You were.
No,
you were doing your drama move. Yeah. You're right. Yeah, so you can add. So you can add for additional 6s. Yep.
Yeah, so I'm at 12.
Almost a villain.
I want to go for that.
I for some reason I got confused and forgot that you were adding to your drama. Good.
So close.
Okay. I think that's a good time to bring us to the presentation and judgment.
I was just not there.
Well, I think the next thing that you'll do is you'll roll 2d6. If you've been sabotaged, you get a -2. If you're the breakout star, which I think as of now no one is, right? No one's the breakout star. No one has the villain edit. But okay, sorry, I'm just reading through it. Okay, so Ashton,
Yes.
you get a +2 because you won the mini challenge. But are you in toxic right now?
Yeah, I have 9.
Okay, so you get a +0 because they cancel each other out.
Okay, cool.
Kian, you get -2 because you were successfully sabotaged. Are you toxic as well, or did you manage to get into relatable?
I'm in relatable, but
Okay.
I did have that alliance.
You had the alliance, yeah, so you just get a -1. Because you allied with someone in the crew. And then Rue, you're toxic. So
Yeah,
you
I'm
get
solidly.
a -2, but you weren't successfly sabotaged or anything like that, so it's just a
No.
-2. Okay, so everyone roll 2d6 and then apply whatever modifier you have, and I'm going to tell you this little final stretch of the beach, which is just narrative basically, because however you roll on this is going to be how it goes. But the final stretch of the beach yields one final surprise. Lining the riverbanks are all the previous 13 losing contestants, and some of them look pretty mad at you. Something splashes in the water. A coconut? You glance over and see someone you previously slighted, a wicked grin on their face, and another coconut in hand. The water around you is filled with the splashing of more coconuts being lobbed your way. So that's basically just like, if you've been doing well in the challenge, but then you rolled really poorly just now. Maybe that can be some narrative reason behind whatever happens. Who wants to say how they did on this crown challenge? Who wants to go first? I can't.
I can go first.
Yeah.
I rolled a 6 and I had -2, so I have a 4.
Poor Avery. That's the exact same thing you got before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is, I think it's like not good, but not, poor. Oh, sorry. Oh, it's, no, 0 to 4 is poor. Wait, I think they're different on the two things. On the scoring on the reference sheet, I think it says 0 to 4 is poor. And the other one, is it below 0 is really bad? Hang on. I think maybe it is right, and it's just below 0. 0 is terrible. Sorry, I'm scrolling around. Challenge structure. Where is this? Okay, I think it's just poor. I don't know why I can't find it again. So how do you think this last challenge goes narratively for Avery?
I think they're just like trying to get to the end. They're very much in their head like, I've got to win it so that the other two can't, because it's killing them. But like everyone else is like, oh my god, Avery is such an asshole. Like left Alan to drown. Like Johnny Bananas is just trying to find his wife, maybe.
Very good.
Avery exposed their cousin. Isn't there an NDA? There's like hashtag NDA ?
Good.
Just because it's like, yeah, the narrative has gone very bad. Like there's a hashtag like live long enough to become the
very like moody edits where it's like Avery like when she was nice, and then it's like some like Taylor Swift song. I think it's got to be Anti-Hero. It's like, and then it's like Avery swimming away from Alan. Yeah.
Someone's like edited it so it looks like Alan's crying.
Crying underwater. Not what you want for your final score, but hey, you know, if the other two roll low enough, you could still be the winner. So who wants to reveal next?
Johnny Bananas will go. So Johnny Bananas got a 5.
Oh no.
So that is better than Avery, but so barely. A 5 is okay.
Johnny Bananas like sprints onto the beach and sees all of the people that he slighted holding coconuts. And you see his face, just the look on his face, it just falls. And he knows that like he's done for. And they all start chucking coconuts at him.
Yeah.
And he's trying to make his way over to the chest so he can open it up. And he just keeps like, he has like a black eye now.
Oh,
He's like he does need that sling. Like he's like
this is terrible.
He's just completely beaten up.
That's very good. And that just leaves Alan.
What did you roll?
How did Alan do?
Alan got a 9.
Triumphant return.
A 9 is good.
Good. As much as you can hope for.
The last we saw Alan, he was sinking below the murky depths of this rushing river. What is Alan's triumphant winning, I will say, moment?
Alan, I don't know, probably just washes up really pitifully. Or there's nothing triumphant about that, but like gets up, still looks a little bit, you know, out of it, and is now just like totally soaked. Was one of those really fluffy llamas, and so now he's like shrunken.
Oh, no.
Seriously. But he like walks up and he's like dragging his legs, getting over to it, and as Johnny Bananas is getting pelted with coconuts, it looks like Alan goes to like shelter Johnny a little bit, but really Alan just takes the key and keeps walking because Alan didn't have one. And just like dragging himself goes and opens up the chest.
Yeah, and you see there the crown. Jeff Goats is lowered slowly onto the shore and says, "Oh, who could have ever seen that coming? It looks like our winner for our 49th season of Naked and a Llama is Alan." And like the music is like going like, you know, and there's this like very dramatic like drone shot that like is way up here and then kind of goes in, and Alan's like, Jeff is putting the crown on Alan. You've won this crown and also $10 million. What are you going to be doing with your winnings, Alan?
The crown goes on Alan's head, and as soon as Alan turns, it just falls down his neck because there's no fur to help keep it from going all the way down. And Alan just kind of like looks around really dazed and confused and is like, I mean, you know, I didn't think I would get this far. I couldn't have gotten this far without my wonderful teammates, but I'm going to take this $10 million and I'm going to go take a nap, and then I'm going to go to Disney World. I'm not good at puns. I don't know what the equivalent would be.
Llama World. We haven't really been doing that many puns. We've mostly just been saying llama.
I'm going to Llama World. I'm going to meet the llama, I'm super excited about it.
Llama mouse.
I also just was like, it's llama mouse.
It zooms out and you just see Johnny like passed out on the beach, like one arm towards the chest. Hashtag is he
just
dead?
like, yeah. Avery's just chasing after other people. No, they can't win. So it looks like some kind of descent into like villainy where I'm like, this can't be happening. They're like, wow, we thought Avery was chill, but
You were well adjusted.
this is what fame does to a person.
The last thing that we'll do as we're wrapping up. So if you're in chat, you may notice that there's a poll going right now, which is for who is the fan favorite. So you can vote in that poll. And the main thing that is going to do is determine in our little post credits kind of, or not even post credits, but our we'll have one more confessional from each person that's like months after the competition. And whoever gets fan favorite, that player can decide whether they want to have the fact that they were fan favorite mean that they go on to star in another kind of all-stars season of Naked and Llama, or whether they end up being the host of a spin-off show. So whoever wins gets to decide that. And while I think there's just like a couple more minutes on the poll, while that's going, I'll say, so this is, like I said, reconnecting after filming has ended, so it could be like months later. And then some questions that you can answer during this little confessional. And I imagine there's like some shots of like your llama at their, their day-to-day lives now. What does your llama look like now? Do they look like different than they did when they were on the show? And then also like some other things you could talk about is if you won, if there's something you've done with your winnings, and have you kept in contact with any other contestants, or just a general like what have you been up to in the past few months. So whoever wants to go first can go first.
So Johnny Bananas has he definitely made a big deal about like his recovery. It was not that bad, but like he was milking it on social media. And then he drops a post and he's like, my wife is dead. Because he realized that in a moment of panic during the show, that he was like, I don't have a wife. And so he had to like fake her death.
Then by fake her death, you mean he just tweeted, my wife is dead. Which is pretty low stakes as far as faking a death goes.
I do post like pictures. You can see I'm in like I got like bandages on my face and I'm taking a selfie of like me in like a really nice black suit. And I look very somber. And it's just my wife is dead. And also I'm on Cameo now.
Very good.
Cameleo?
Oh yeah, there you go. There you go. Cameleo. What about the other? Oh, also I should say, if the poll ended in a 3-way tie, so the fan favorite was all of you. Does that impact what? So I'll say you can decide kind of what impact it has. That all three of you are like pretty popular and could go on to do more things in the franchise or even other reality shows if you want to. So what else?
I have contacted Avery and Alan multiple times. They have never responded. And I'm like, we should do like Llama's Got Talent and we should be the judges.
So the result of being a fan favorite is that you're trying to get on a new show, but it hasn't gone anywhere yet.
I want to be the Simon Cowell. Simon Cowell.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, what about either Alan or Avery? What does your post-game wrap-up on the finale look like?
I think when they pull in on Avery, they've got like headphones on and they're holding a mic boom because they are staff in a different reality TV.
It's very good.
Like, it's and now that I know we're all fan favorites, I think it is the All-Stars version, but it's just they're just staff. So it like at first pans into the All-Stars where you're like, oh, Avery got on the All-Stars, but then it's just like they're like the camera, like the mic person.
I love the idea that Avery is now having the opposite problem where people keep thinking you're on the show.
Yeah. Like team members are coming up. Yeah. And everyone's like, no, it's Avery's not on this. And like it cuts to Avery and they're like, like they put forward the mic.
Avery just shrugs and goes, "It's a living."
Yeah, they finally have to do an interview with Avery, and they're like, "We don't normally do this with crew, but like everyone keeps thinking that you're in this game. You gotta just let the fans know that you're just here to pick up a check."
Very good. That just leaves Alan. How do things wrap up for Alan, the winner?
Alan is living a life of disgusting opulence.
Makes
There
sense.
are diamonds everywhere. The tassels are made out of diamonds. There's a diamond chandelier, diamonds on the railing of the staircase leading up to the second floor of this ridiculous mansion. Like, Alan has absolutely spent every last dime that he won on this show, and this has been like the first 6 months, and now he's got this ridiculous house. He saw all of Johnny Banana's messages, but was like, I can't do this again.
Unread.
But he does figure out who Johnny Bananas is trying to pitch the show to and offers to sponsor the show with some of the winnings. Is like, hey, don't tell him where the money came from, but I'll sponsor the show if you pick it up. And does also send money to Naked and a Llama and say, use this to pay Avery. Make sure that they get all the money that they need. Is trying to do reparations.
Now I love that it's like Avery has just stayed on set and they're like, Avery, you gotta go.
The house that you built was so nice you just moved in.
Yeah. Every morning she comes out of it.
And Johnny
Go ahead.
Johnny is definitely being interviewed in one of those like feather long coats that people wear after they've murdered their husbands and they're coming down the stairs. Alan is totally being interviewed in one of those. Johnny might be also.
Johnny is also, and on the bottom it says Johnny Banana says he didn't kill his wife.
Very good. Yeah, that's like the zoom in of like the final credits for the show is just zooming into the text. Johnny Bananas says he didn't kill his wife.
Johnny Bananas looks at the camera and then he winks. Cut to black.
That's all we could ask for the finale episode of Naked and a Llama. Before we leave tonight, let's all go around one last time and reintroduce ourselves, and then also feel free to let people know other projects that you're working on, where else they can find you. And this time we'll start with Rue.
Hello everyone, I'm Rue. My pronouns are she and her. I played Avery, whose pronouns were she and they, and they turned out to be not so normal a person. Or a llama. How far they fell.
So good.
Yeah, and you can find me. Currently, I'm not doing any shows or anything at the moment, but I guess I'll throw a pitch out to a friend's game that is on Kickstarter currently. You're in space and everything's fucked. A game that is kind of pulling a lot of influence from Dead Space, System Shock, and Alien franchises. It's a 2-player game, although I believe it is being expanded to be 2 to 5 players, where one side is the space station and everyone else is the inhabitants trying to escape and survive. And it is, I believe, it either just funded or it is like very, very close to funding. So folks can get out there. The game is super cool looking. The artwork is really great, and there's a free demo up. So if you want to take a look and see if it's your thing, go take a look at that.
It's also, if I'm remembering correctly, Dinoberry Press, right, is the publisher?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and on this stream, we previously played Justicar when it was kickstarting, which is the same publisher. So if you liked Justicar and you backed that, then maybe you want to... Oh, Brew, if you send it to me, I have links turned off, but if you put it in the Zoom chat, I can paste it. Which is good because I was about to ask you to send it to me. Because if I try to open Chrome, my computer will stop working. Okay, it's not letting me paste it. While I try to paste this in, Kian, do you want to go next and let us know who you are and if you've got other stuff that you want people in chat to know about?
Sure. Hello. My name is Kian. My pronouns are they, them, theirs. Tonight I was playing Alan, pretty unhinged. Now, if you like unhinged characters, I'll tell you where else I am playing them because all of my characters kind of snap at the end. You can find me on Twitter at uptight_chiffon. My next gig, like it sounds so official. Tomorrow, I am playing Nova over on Lost Caravan. It's our 3rd episode in the mini campaign. It's a indie mech TTRPG. It's a lot of fun. 10 out of 10 recommend. On Thursdays on Sword and Key, I am playing an Invisible Sun campaign. Our 3rd episode is going to be this coming week, which is a lot of fun, very narrative-focused world building. And then starting in April, I will be playing a Fabula Ultima campaign with the Lost Caravan, which I'm super excited about, a Japanese-inspired TTRPG. So those are the things I got going on.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, Lost Caravan is great. I was about to give them a shout out, but I know their Twitch is, like, I always think it's the Lost Caravan, but I think it's Lost Caravan RPG, so I'll check and see so I do the right one. That just leaves Ashton. What else do you have going on, and also who are you?
Oh, what is going on, Power Bottoms? Thank you for watching my Minecraft Let's Play. My name is Ashton, and I have IBS, and it's fine. You can follow me on Twitter at popsicle_Mike, where I tweet about all the stuff that I'm doing, which is a lot. I do a lot of actual plays. I'll just tweet about them. I cannot name them. There's so many. Stand out in about 3 weeks. We're gonna do a mini campaign with a new game. It's a sitcom TTRPG. I'm playing it with the creator of it, who is a friend of mine. And I'm doing the baby playbook. So I'm gonna do a Michelle Tanner character that I'm very excited about. And that's going to be on High Shelf Collective, so you can look out for that. If you are interested in audio dramas, I wrote one called Friday Night Fights. Night is with a K, so it's Friday Knight Fights. It's about King Arthur if he was a modern day himbo. And it's my life's work. And you can listen to the entire 1st season out right now at FKF Tweets on Twitter. You can get links there. Also, if you don't want to support the thing I worked hard on, you can support at Cars Conspiracy on Twitter, which is my show about Pixar's cars and how they definitely have sex. We are currently in the process of recording season 2, but you can again listen to the entirety of season 1 at Cars Conspiracy. It's my show at Written in the Cars. And get those 2 shows wherever you get your podcasts. Anyway, I have a lot of things. Sorry.
No, that's good. That gives me time to do all the stuff I need to do to end stream. So I am going to wrap up with chat and talk about some stuff we have coming up on this channel, but I am going to do that on another screen so that my players can relax. Players, do you want to say goodbye to the Twitch chat and also goodbye to the YouTube VOD? Goodbye.
Thanks, y'all.
Stay in school.